Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safe Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! It's the 6 o'clock and check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's the Coolbet Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macramalla intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites. Feliz Navidad. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Try, try, try. Try, 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 try. Try, 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 try. Leon scored a goal tonight. Watching him play is quite a sight. You know this song is tight. Oilers fans, come on. You loved him endlessly since he was drafted number 3. He's a center with a size that was born in Cologne. Try to stop him, you can't do much more. That ain't no lie. You just wanna see him shoot and score. It was try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try, 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 try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2.
Connor McDavid.
Let me say yeah.
Remember that name.
Let me say yeah.
Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. McDavid.
because of 9 to 7. The nation in love from Gibbons to Devon. Looking to pass, eating men on the ass. Second contract, a lot of cash. Tick, 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 tack, take your time. McDavid on your team and you'll be fine. Just open your eyes and you will see it. Oil it for real because he has no limit.
No, 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 no. Connor has no limit. No, 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 no. Connor has no limit.
Remember that name.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. He can dangle hands so sick. Back of the net, right off his stick. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home.
Here's a beautiful center pass, one-timer score. And there's Holloway, set up by McDavid.
We found out not long ago.
Oh, what's going on? Had to mix it in for the kid, you know?
Let her rip. Yeah.
Overtime winner last night against one of the Oilers' rivals.
Hey,
You'll take it.
Special Agent Holloway.
Oh,
reporting for duty.
My goodness, Dylan Holloway leading the St. Louis
now.
Blues
Yeah.
in goals.
Huh?
Victor Arvidsson missing. Actually, Arvidsson, what they say? He skated.
He was found.
Skating,
Yeah.
That's a positive.
The shipping container has been located.
Fingers crossed, no setbacks. Fingers crossed, no setbacks. Trev must have loved that last night, though. His boy. He got an autographed Dylan Holloway card from Dustin with a Y yesterday. Should have seen Trev. He's welling up. His eyes are welling up. He's a cryy boy, you know?
It was the nicest thing ever. I felt so bad. I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I've got
You don't have to
quite
feel
a few."
bad about that, buddy.
Well, I don't. I have a hard time accepting gifts, so I was taken back. Not gonna lie, but I have a signed auto Dylan Holloway rookie card, so it's sick. And of course, he scores last night. It was nice. It was
That
nice.
worked out
The
well.
finish was good.
It's probably going to be a pretty good player, but whatever. I mean, the Oilers got a juggernaut on their hands here, too. And that's without Arvidsson in the lineup. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Very tidy performance from the Edmonton Oilers last night. Skinner haters be damned. Hey,
21 saves.
This guy's been playing 955. 955. 955. 955.
9.
That's his save percentage last night. Sometimes when he plays well, we like to chant his save percentage. So that's what we decided to do there.
I like how you say sometimes when he plays well.
Yeah, well, so, other times we will forget. Other times we will forget. GCL Diesel postgame show was a good one last night with Gager and Tommy and Hernan. Thought that was outstanding as well.
People want to elevating Kapanen and things. I saw
I took a question from there last night and put it into 3 questions.
Okay, alrighty.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Let me see. We'll lay out the show for you here. Oh, nope, I didn't. I had that somewhere else in here. But yeah, it was a nice game from Kapanen.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll give you the Kapanen discussion you're here for. All right. It is sweaty in the studio though.
It's hot.
Right? Is it not warm?
It's hot under these lights.
Trev, bring on you on the camera here. Do you have the 3-shot set up? Let's bring this guy in. Yeah. I'm sitting here. I backfired today. My dress backfired because I'm wearing like a lighter. I do love this cool, but this is one of my favorite things to wear.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable, and I don't wear a t-shirt underneath because it's so soft on my nips. I like it throughout the day. But so I don't have a t-shirt underneath, and I'm already kind of sweaty in this, so I don't have another option. You're at least in a t-shirt. You dress properly.
Yeah.
I don't know how Trev is still wearing a winter jacket in here right now. It's a sweaty mess.
It's bizarre.
Trev, what's going on with you right now,
hot.
buddy? Like, how you can't possibly be cold in this studio right
I'm
now.
freezing. You guys are tripping. It's cold
Are
in
you
this
nuts?
corner. No, you guys are nuts. I don't know.
I think you're
These
nuts.
guys, before the show, they were talking about how hot it is in here, and I'm
You know why?
It could be the TV.
It was left on last night.
Is that what it was? It
So
all night
maybe
long?
the heat radiating off this the
that could be
Popeyes
why.
Louisiana
You know, it
kitchen.
makes
Come on,
sense.
Hernan.
Because I'm the furthest from the TV, right?
We're going to dock Hernan's pay for however much power that TV used throughout
Minus
the night.
10.
Yeah.
And if any nasties know, I'm kind of right by this wall, which is, obviously it's cold outside, so the cold air just comes right by my feet, and it starts from my feet and then it works its way up. So I'm chilly.
Oh, that's
So I'm sorry, boys.
Do you think you're going to wear a winter jacket the entire show today?
I think so.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You got a t-shirt on under there I could borrow?
No, I do not.
Nice tiny guy t-shirt. Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
If I did, I'd give it to you.
Thanks, I knew you would. You're such a
Give the
team
shirt
player.
off his back.
You're such a team player. I love it. This text is in from Brad from Crossfield. Says, I woke up to my wife blasting Creed this morning. The Creed hype is real, boys. Yeah, it is. 14:06 mark of the second period last night at Rogers Place.
The very place that they'll be playing.
Yeah, on a Tuesday. That was on a Tuesday, and it is on a Tuesday. I do really appreciate Herb's hose this morning, who texted us at 5:35. He said, good morning, fellas. I'm coming in totally blind today, and you may have already discussed this yesterday, but Creed is coming to Rogers Place August 19th, 2025. It will literally be Creed Tuesday on August 19th. Hold me now.
Well, I think we just give it to Herb's hose for pointing that out.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
had
Herb.
It. He had it.
Yeah, between that and everybody sending me that Creed Christmas song yesterday, we are very much aware of what's happening. Even last night, I was discussing this at the Mazda's Christmas concert last night with my wife because she's like, you know what? She goes, you probably didn't even listen to Creed much back in the day, like when they came up like in 99. And I said, yeah, not as much as
they sucked. Nobody listened to them then.
Well, I mean, their album sold like 11, almost 12 million copies. The one album was a monster.
In terms of the new metal time in which they existed, they were laughable.
Oh, you're saying in a different... Well...
They were. And now that, now that time
I don't know how you can say they're laughable when they sold 12 million albums. They had one of the best-selling albums of the late 90s. I mean...
But it wasn't... In terms of the genre they were breaking into, which I listened to and was a big part of, they were like... They had the pirate shirts and everything. Now it was like the Nickelback thing. They come out, everybody laughs at them, and then time passes on, and people are like, well, they've sold a lot of albums, so it's good, and it's fine now. But it's a musical meme. That's what they are now.
Well, now they are. But back then, I mean, they played massive events.
Yeah, they played Ozfest and stuff. But I mean, they were still seen as kind of like...
Did they not play... What was it? Woodstock? What was that? What was...
Well, they were major players.
99? Like
major
they were there.
players
I mean,
at Woodstock, yeah. Lots of people were at Woodstock now. I mean...
I think they brought a lot of people to that show.
Yeah.
But no, she actually was a huge fan of them back then. She goes, she's like, I listened to them back then big time.
Yeah, no.
So she's very excited. She's very excited to go to the show too.
Their popularity now is
I can't remember the last
on levels
time
you would have never thought it would have been.
I can't remember last time Tammy and I went to a concert together.
This is gonna be great.
This is gonna be amazing.
And the rest of EST in the box.
Well, and Gager's suggesting a bus. I said, you know what? People buy their own ticket. And we get a bus and leave from here and go to the concert together. I mean, I think that would be kind of fun for.
Well, the Godfather said, rumor is for Christmas present, ESC staff HR Daddy is getting a suite at Rogers Place for the concert.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
That's just a rumor.
I do not.
Just a rumor.
I do not see that happening. There's zero chance that goes down. Anyway, thanks to Herb's host for bringing that to our attention this morning, man. We totally would have missed it.
And where's it here? The Border City Cabbie. This will be right up Dustin's alley. Just heard a version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's on TikTok if you're interested.
Oh, really? Oh, I should go check that out. That wasn't brought to my attention yesterday either. So that's great too. Let's lay out the show for you today. The Nielson Show today and every day brought to you by Daniel and his great team out at South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. You can visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. They've got, this is a fun little promotion here. The Upgrade Your Sleigh campaign running for the month of December. They've got an opportunity for you to reserve the 2025 Equinox, Trax, or Traverse now. They've got a bunch coming in, and they won't last long. These vehicles are so hot, you got to reserve them now. So if you want to get in on one of those, www.southfortchev.com. They also have 2025 Silverado Customs with payments as low as $199 BW, which means bi-weekly. See dealer for details. So that's $199 for a pickup truck bi-weekly. pretty good deal. Drive a little, save a lot, family-friendly experience at South Fort Chev. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. You're going to want to go and visit them for the holidays, I would think. That would make a lot of sense for your loved ones. They've got a bunch of in-stock gifts. And how about this? Because some of you would be like, I can't go and shop at Paris Jewelers. It's too expensive for the holidays. Well, how about this? They've got a huge selection of in-stock gifts starting at under $60.
Yeah, they're like the Cleveland Guardians of the jewelry game. Hey, you're looking for a good deal, you go to them.
Well, we'll see. I mean
that in a total
we'll
complimentary
get to it during
way.
the morning announcements here, but the reaction to that deal was very interesting on both sides.
Young studs.
So we'll get to that. Of course, at Paris Jewelers, flexible payment options, do not pay until 2026 in stores. So, but that's great. I mean, gifts for your loved ones starting at under $60. Take 3 $20 bills in, get a gift for somebody that you love. Or you could just come in with a hilarious text today and win the text of the day, which will get you that A&W gift certificate. Mushroom Mozzarella Burger is back right now at all A&W locations. And, of course, it is absolutely delicious. We suggest getting the Big Unk. That's an Uncle Burger. You're going to love it. Mozzarella-y, mushroomy goodness. Starting at just $4.99. And hopefully you took advantage of the game day special yesterday, which was the mama and fries for just $5.
Yes.
Real nice. All right, here's the show for you today. Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas coming up during the morning announcements. Morning after show at 6:30, deeper dive into the oil and the Lightning last night. That hurts for the personal injury lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law, Trent and the crew over at James H. Brown. We'll get to that before 7 o'clock. Dregs is going to join us fresh off of the NHL meetings. We'll talk some expansion. We'll talk McDavid's future. And we'll hit on some of the other stories around the National Hockey League. The Fan Zone. Nice win for the Oil last night. Their next 4 games against Minnesota, Vegas, Florida, and Boston. Now, I don't know if you have to worry about Boston, but Wild, Vegas, and Panthers, including Amazon Prime Monday night Stanley Cup final rematch.
Part of the order.
Oh, baby. So what are you expecting from them over the next 4? We will spin the wheel for Coolbet today. Find out what the wheel's going to bring to the table. Free advice for Damon Bunting just after 7:30. EST legal analyst Eric Macramalla will be by. We'll talk Juan Soto contract with Macramalla, and then whatever the hell else he takes us off on a journey on. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. That's a good. Here's what's going to happen with that's good today for the Italian Center Shop. We have decided, and this was based on availability of commish.
Yeah.
We are going to do a Christmas draft tomorrow from 9 to 11.
Availability
on the Hangout
of commish, but not necessarily all the draftees.
No. So Glue Guy first said he was in for Thursday, but he can't make it. So Reed Wilkins is going to proxy in for the Glue Guy. So it'll be myself, Lieutenant Eric, Tommy Gazzola, and Reed Wilkins making his Edmonton Sports Talk draft debut.
Last draft you were part of, obviously you missed, and Trev was the proxy. So 2 proxy drafts in a row.
Here.
Yeah.
What was it like being part of a proxy draft?
Well, it's kind of weird, and that wasn't even a. I think now we have a bit of warning. Reed now has a bit of warning to prepare.
Yeah, that was kind of a last.
What did Tommy say last night? He said
he's coming back
"I'm going
strong.
to come back strong with this draft." End quote.
Yeah, because he sucked last draft.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
He got last.
He did get the last draft. Trev is a proxy on short notice. Beat Tommy. Oh, that is hilarious. Anyway, we'll spin for the draft order choice. With that's good. Around 8:25.
Christmas lasagna first overall.
If you have any category, so we are doing a Christmas entertainment draft. So if you have any, I had a few good replies on Twitter last night.
It's pretty broad.
It is pretty broad. So things that you would deem as entertaining over the holidays. So if you have any category suggestions, hit us up in the nasty chat. Text them to us in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. And we'll spin for order selection coming up. Greg Wyshynski's going to be live just after 8:30 today. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power, the Marmot Basin Snow Report, and the wrap for William Huff. So we've got lots to get to. Let's dive into your morning announcements today. For 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock, Yukon and McCord every single morning, and the AM Nasty herself, Jess Jackson, on the way home. lot of people were saying a game, right, for entertainment. And I did have, when we were discussing some categories yesterday, it was activities. But I do think we should specifically have a game. Would you be after crokinole after you taught me how to play crokinole?
Crocodile's a strong one. Simple, and we had it last weekend at my place, the gift exchange. Game.
Gift exchange.
Yeah, which goes under a lot of
that's
names, but I don't know what the most current one is. But you know what I'm talking about. You wrap the small $5 gifts, you roll the dice, it goes around, you unwrap them, then you got a mad scramble of a 5 minute to trade. And
Yeah. I mean, that would be something I guess you could do. Yeah.
That'd be one on my list.
All right. Well, any suggestions for categories in a Christmas entertainment draft? Keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
You like the crokinole though, hey? You were getting the buzz.
I like the strategy behind crokinole. I did not know how crokinole worked. Like I'd seen it played, but I never knew the rules. So Eric taught me last Friday when we were hanging out here having some Christmas festivities, and
you were zipping 20s like nobody's business at one point. I think
I thought I caught on pretty quick.
You had an interesting way of delivering the stone, which Maddie shut down.
Iwanek ruined it. I thought. Well, you said I could do it. I was like sliding it like this, and Maddie's like, "You can't do that." I said, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Crokinole."
Yeah, Mr. Crokinole.
So then I started to get the flick for it though.
Oh yeah,
I like to play again.
You get your weight down. You find your weight, and you'll be
so I mean, that could be something. Crib. I think people would
Crib's a good one.
Crib,
sure,
just sitting around the tree.
Yeah.
So anyway, that could be a category for sure.
Fortnite.
Well, I don't mind that.
You don't mind that?
That's an option.
You'd vote.
I'd probably take that one. That'd be high on my list for sure.
That'd be right up there for you. Morning announcements. NHL action last night. Colorado. Somewhat in the same boat as Edmonton in those like wild card in and out of the division playoffs situation. They hang 6 on the Penguins. I think Rantanen had 5 in that game. Toronto Maple Leafs win in overtime. The Kings win again 3-1 over the Islanders.
Playoffs started today. Your opening round matchup is Edmonton at LA.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
They've won 6 straight.
The Jets fired 8. Past the Bruins. They went 8-1.
Got a little messy down there too.
That was a nasty one.
They're all yelling and fighting. And
the Minnesota Wild. Getting the job done for the lock shop partner parlay. We hit that yesterday, boys. 5-1.
Left it
very
to
nice
too, I think, too. Eh?
Yeah, well, to get it done in the shootout, but whatever, we'll take it. And then the Canucks did lose in overtime to the Blues. Dylan Holloway with the overtime winner there. The Toronto Blue Jays yesterday trading for Jimenez, 26-year-old in the midst of a 7-year, $106.5 million deal that will run through the 2029 season, a club option for 2030. He's got 3 gold gloves and is widely regarded as one of the best middle infielders in the sport.
Can steal a base or two.
Stole 30 bases for the Guardians last season, but batted just .252 with a slugging percentage of .340 and was moved down to the lower half of the Cleveland lineup. So they end up moving Spencer Horwitz out to get him. The Guardians immediately take Horwitz, flip him to the Pirates for 2 of their top 30 prospects and a pitcher, which I thought that part of it was very interesting. I don't know if you looked at the reaction of this trade online last night, and online might not be the best place to do it. But like I saw a lot of Guardian fans being like, man, it's great to get out of this deal because his bat's fallen off for the last 3 years. And I was like, what's this about? Then I did see some people on the other side with the Jays who weren't happy that they moved Horwitz, but they're saying that what position is he actually going to play with the way that their lineup is currently constructed. So, I mean, we'll see. I hope it's not a bat that can, like his last 3 years, he slashed worst each of the last 3 years. So I'm hoping his best years with the bat aren't behind him. Even if he's, if gold glove and can steal bases, this team needs to hit the ball better. So I'm on the fence, I guess, on this deal right now.
Fresh Oregon, maybe it's getting a little stale there. Maybe he resurrects his bat. But do you think it's tough being a Jays fan when you're outbid by other teams? I mean, the Guardians basically exist for these purposes, right? Unloading players on high salaries and then collecting, a bunch of young studs and prospects and everything and going on a run year and then doing it all over again. So it's just kind of funny how this... It's like a snakes and ladders game with a lot of these teams. You kind of, you send players up the chute and then players are sent back down the chute.
Yeah, it's teams who don't get the big guys are like, we better call the Guardians.
Yeah, and they
see who they're unloading,
things. Yeah, and it's just... But we'll see. I mean, does it keep Letty Guerrero Jr.? The signals, all of this is sending smoke signals to him and his camp and to a lesser degree Bichette about keeping them, right?
I mean,
competitive now. So
it's that or you tear the whole bloody thing down.
Absolutely.
Going one way or the other. But yeah, that news broke yesterday as well. The Sailor is in. He's an Ontario guy. Says it's a great trade. And now gives the Jays an option to get a pure DH to smash the dingers. So he's saying it opens up a DH spot with Horowitz not having to be wedged in there. We'll see. It could be middle of August, and I've got a Jimenez home run song, and I'm losing my mind, and a stolen base song, and the Jays are 10 games above 500 or something like that. But I don't know. All right, let's get to Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas, a very anticipated day number 5. I love day number 5. We always do. Yesterday, though, you did say that you wish you could have done day 5 yesterday.
Yes.
And then said that alone is a breadcrumb of what today was going to be.
I also wish I could do it tomorrow. That throws a wrench into it, eh?
So it doesn't matter what day it's on. It could be any day, it seems like.
Well,
is this related to Gemco?
Oh, great guess.
Well, they're a Tuesday, Thursday fired up segment.
Great guess. Great
so
guess.
You wish you could have done it yesterday or tomorrow?
Yeah.
What?
Quite the riddle.
What is this?
Damn it.
You're a sneaky boy.
Well, I don't know. It's
Trev, any guesses before we hear this?
No, nothing.
Yesterday
Tombstone
today.
Tuesday. Like, that's the only thing
I thought it was going to be Tombstone reference, but that doesn't tie into tomorrow at all.
Do we have another theme on Thursdays?
Hot takes? 5 scalding hot takes.
I think I did that one year.
You did do that one year, yeah. Damn.
Okay.
All right, well, let's hear it. Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas, day number 5. Let's go.
On the first day of Christmas, EST gave to me local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the second day of Christmas, EST gave to me 2 TVs for read and local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the third day of Christmas, EST gave to me 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for read and local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the fourth day of Christmas, EST gave to me 4 nations, 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for read and local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the fifth day of Christmas, EST gave to me $5 Mama Burgers and Oilers game days, 4 nations, 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for read and local programming 6 to 6 daily.
Oh, baby.
Because see, the Oilers played yesterday, and I can't believe you wouldn't even think of the Oilers
think of the
for crying
game
out loud.
day,
The
for
Oilers.
example.
And
That's mouthy, but it's wordy though. What did
$5 Mama Burgers and Oilers game days.
Man, we should have
made it work.
We should have guessed
but
that.
it was a
Jilly G in the nasty chat. Game days, guys. Jilly had it.
that's the one. Yeah.
Jilly
Did
had
she
it.
guess
Wow.
it? Yeah.
All right. Well, a thumbs up for Jilly.
Yeah, that'd be Jilly.
Hey, if you are watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. I mean, let's change 100 here by the time this guy's done an update. We got the morning after show coming up. We got That Hurts coming up. And we got Darren Dreger, fresh off NHL meetings. He's going to be by just after 7 o'clock today. And we'll talk about the future of Connor McDavid. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
What have you been hearing?
He's not,
What are you hearing?
He's not going anywhere. I mean,
What?
yeah. Well, Pierre LeBrun said on Insider Trading yesterday that if he's not signed by July 1st, they're trading him.
This is interesting.
Just kidding. He did not say that. Everybody calm down.
Send in your proposals now, 780-299-9999.
Don't. Not today. Not today. Today
always
we're
play
about
that game.
Macramalla intros.
We'll play that game once a year, right? Where
we'll get there
it's
at
a slow
some
day,
point,
and we're
yeah.
like, well, if they did,
yeah.
what's the package?
Man. Good work on the $5. Yeah,
It's a great deal. We talk about it all the time. You actually mentioned it this morning, and then right afterwards,
I know.
you mentioned 12 days. Like you
And
stacked
did you
them up
say a
yourself this morning.
breadcrumb?
from the bun.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You're right. Damn it.
It's a stretch, but
A little bit of a stretch,
yeah.
but
it's
well
here
played.
for
Sir.
it.
Well played. All right. Let's get to an update for Nisku Glass. If you have glass that is cracked or completely shattered, they will glue it back together because they're the best in the biz. Let's get to this update for Nisku Glass with Lieutenant Eric right now.
The Edmonton Oilers hold off the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1, picking up their 4th straight home victory. Stuart Skinner, 21 saves. Leon Draisaitl notching his 20th goal of the campaign. The Oilers are on the road tomorrow night to take on the Minnesota Wild. Last night, Blues topped the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Dylan Holloway with the winner. Thatcher Demko, 21 saves in his season debut for Vancouver. Nashville have lost 8 straight now following a 4-3 loss to the Flames. It was the Kings winning their 6th straight, 3-1 over the Islanders. Kraken falling a shootout, 2-1 to the Panthers, and the Jets all over the Bruins, 8-1. Minnesota also getting past Utah in a shootout. AJHL action saw Olds over Canmore 3-2. One game tonight, we'll see Bonnieville visit Devon. NBA Cup action, quarterfinals last night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 39, leading the Thunder over the Mavericks 118-104, advancing to the semis. Elsewhere, Giannis Antetokounmpo scored 37, leading the Bucks over the Magic 114-109. Quarterfinals action continues tonight when Atlanta visit the Knicks, and the Rockets host the Golden State Warriors. Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers, and what better way than to give them a deal. Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your winter and spring renovation projects now.
There's something happening here. The Oilers look a lot better this year. Another win, put 2 points on the board. Telling me your faith is restored. I think it's time you stop, listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show. This year's team's looking strong. Connor and Leon, they can't do no wrong. 6 o'clockers are losing their minds. Getting so many messages on the text line. Think it's time you stop, listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show.
Edmonton Oilers with the win last night at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and is your good morning after show song right here on the Nielson Show, brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio this morning, where they do have the festive family box now available. 4 pieces of signature chicken, 4 tendies, 4 regular sides, 4 biscuits for just $30. The festive family box, in store and on delivery. If you want to add some drinks too, I think it's like $36, but it's $30 for all the trimmings. Weather-wise today, man, that snow just kept coming yesterday.
I didn't even shovel.
You didn't?
Left it till today.
Not even as of today.
I must confess, there's no point in doing it. I mean, sometimes if it's going to be like a 2 or 3 day event, you lessen the load. But I was like, if it's snowing over, like, what's the point?
Minus 11 tonight? Minus 12 tonight?
Shovel the path today.
I think I'm going to get the liner down, and I'm going to be flooding in the dark tonight. I'll be flooding in the dark tonight. I said, I was talking with the Muzz yesterday, and what did I say? I said, it's going to be cold this week. And she looks at me and she goes, I guess you'll be flooding in the dark. I said, I will be flooding in the dark. She does it. Her R's like haven't come around yet, and I never want them to. I want her to talk like that for the rest of her life.
British murder mystery, 24/7.
She read the prayer last night to open up the Christmas concert at school. A big moment for her. Like, that was pretty awesome. And she did it very well. But I can't remember what the word was, but there was one that had the kind of the R in it. And it was just like, it's so damn cute. As soon as they start saying R's properly, it's like they're grown up. You're just like, whatever. Not
a bright star in the sky.
Something like that.
I kind of, yeah.
I was just like, damn, you're cute. God.
It's a great accent.
So, as she stepped up to read the prayer, I don't know, there's a couple hundred parents there. I stood up and I said, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
That's my daughter. All your kids are standing behind her. That's my daughter.
It was just her.
They forcibly removed me from the gym. And then I was like, Then I was like Sean Penn in Mystic River, and I was like, "Is that my daughter in there?
Is it my daughter?
Is that my daughter in there?" God, I love that movie. Who doesn't love Mystic River in a good, "Is that my daughter in there, Sean" reference?
What else? Marshall was involved? Was it
No,
just
Marshall's
a Muzz
Christmas
night?
concert
This is
tonight.
a Muzz night. And,
Marshall was at home with Grandma.
So she read the thing, and then what was the furthering role? Like, did
She sang a song about a donkey,
That's nice.
and then some other one.
Dressing up. Is there like a play and incorporated?
No, just stood on stage and sung.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't bad. We were in and out in like 45 minutes.
Concession.
Mind you, know what's stupid about it is they make all the kids and parents line up outside the school. Like you're not allowed in the school. So it was snowing and it was cold out last night, and all these kids are just freezing their asses off outside. I said, "Damn!" I said, "Why can't the kids go in?" I get let the parents wait outside to get in because there's a mad rush for seats because it's the hottest ticket in town. But at least let the kids inside when it's freezing out.
Did you go to fansfirst.ca?
I did get tickets there. Yeah.
Yo, fan zone after.
Yeah. As they were hauling me out, I was, "Fan zone! Is that my daughter in there?" God, it was a lot of fun. It's one of the main reasons I wanted to have a daughter, just so I could use that joke. All right, let's get into the morning after show here. The Edmonton Oilers 2-1 over the Tampa Bay Lightning last night. Connor McDavid, breakaway goal, his second breakaway attempt. Draisaitl, funny on NHL.com, it says Draisaitl 20, and the next to it says own, as in an own goal. I didn't even know that they tracked that.
I never seen that before.
Yeah, they tracked that on NHL.com apparently.
Dumb term.
It was
So they must have like most own goals per team, like on the year. That's kind of interesting.
Owns.
Yeah.
Owns.
So just a 2-1 last night. Like we said, Stuart Skinner, solid once again. What's that? Did you hear that? Oh, that's Skinner haters. They're quiet right now.
Can't seem to find.
They're very quiet right now. Skinner haters. Is that my Skinner hater in there, Sean? Like, he's been outstanding as of late. The EST big moment that happened. What are you going with, buddy?
The review late. That was kind of a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, in a tight game like that.
To overturn, though. But you're right, big moment. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think as well Kucherov, and I know Louis was trying to give him a little credit saying that he was meaning to do it. I think he just kind of lost control of the puck, but that's just my opinion. But he was coming in. He had a 2-1 game, but it could have been a lot more higher scoring on both ends. And you mentioned Connor McDavid's break. I mean, they had a few cracks at the Vasilevsky tree last night that he stood tall. And I think the Lightning, too, had their own chances at times. And Skinner also standing tall. So a good night for the goalies, which I think the scoreline could have been a lot higher. But Kucherov was coming. I can't remember the time. It was in the third, midway through, I want to say. But he had that look. And he's been hot since he came back. He's had a couple of points there and just kind of misplayed the puck. I think if you want to credit Skinner with the save, go ahead. I thought he lost control of it. But yeah, I think that the late... I think a good challenge as well by Cooper at the beginning for that offside.
Yeah, we'll get to that with that hurts.
Because that could have kind of... fair enough. Yeah. But he did it. He knew it. And he whatever. And he knows how to work the game. But yeah, big moments. The Kucherov flub or Skinner save. And then the late Nurse again. Right? He's the one. He covers the puck enough so you can't see it. You couldn't. You don't even get rid of it.
I mean, I think one of the biggest moments of the games last night was that save that Skinner made on Paul, right in front, like point blank. Paul got a pretty good rip on it. Skinner got the pad out and made the save.
It wasn't
just like
even commented
couple of
though
those
that
saves.
big. Like I think Jack kind of went on with the play.
Yeah, but that was a pretty huge save. Yeah, that was a huge
save. And that's
save.
why I was sitting there wondering, like, that would justify a Michael's yell, at that point. But it was just kind of
I mean,
indicative of the night that he had.
He's just getting used to it.
Exactly.
He's just getting used to Skinner making big save after big save after big save. Yeah. Super stat of the night. What are you going with, buddy? What stands out here last night?
Oh, I know what stands out. I've been staring at you since you asked
go
the
ahead.
question.
Go ahead. 955 955 955 955 9. Stewie Skins, as somebody referred to him in the inbox earlier today, Skin Daddy.
Skin Daddy.
There's got to be a who was the guy that put his skin in a box on Austin Powers? The Fascia guy.
Gold member.
Gold member.
I love gold. The taste of it, the smell of it. Love gold member.
The smell of it.
The smell of it.
Gold member was such a good character, man.
Yeah, he was.
God, he was probably better than Dr. Evil and Fat Bastard. Like Gold member was great.
Oh yeah.
God, that was good. Yeah, Skinner. I mean, special teams.
Draisaitl's 20th, which is nice. Nice round number there.
Fastest to 20th.
Even though it's an own. Is there an asterisk
fastest
there?
to 20 in the NHL this year. So that definitely stands out as well. But I think you got to go to Skinner. I do want to say, just on the goalie front, my goodness, do I love watching Vasilevsky play net. Like, he gets around his crease and gets around his net so smoothly. And he's a big dude. He's like 6'4". He takes up a ton of his net, but he moves so good. It's just a pleasure. And I know last night he was the enemy, but I'm watching that guy and I'm like, man, you can see why he's won everything that he's won. That's how goaltending should be done. Like, that's how goalies should play. They should just look at a video of Vasilevsky and be like, be this guy.
If only Skinner had that lateral movement, he'd be perfect.
My God, if Skinner could move around the crease like Vasilevsky moves around the crease.
That is one of those things that
like,
but man. And even that goal, the own goal there, I mean, that was a mistake by him. He just stoned whoever it was. It was Draisaitl on the breakaway, correct? Like, I mean,
he stopped Draisaitl on 2 breakaways and McDavid on a breakaway.
But made a mistake, which ended up being the winner. But yeah, he's just as advertised.
I mean, that's just must-watch goaltending.
Much like last year here too, when he had a great game, but let in was it 4 or whatever? Like
Carey Price used to be like that. Carey Price, his movement around that, and that's why these guys were great. You just watch him play, and you're like, damn it! Like, I don't know if you can tend the goal better than this guy does. It's very, very impressive. But they got by him last night. So 2-1, the Edmonton Oilers pick up the victory there. 3 stars in this hockey game last night. Leon Draisaitl, Stuart Skinner, and Vasilevsky.
I would put Vasilevsky at 2 and Skinner at 3. I know he got the win.
No, I think I would put Skinner at 1, Vasilevsky at 2, and Draisaitl at 3.
Perfect, yeah.
But who's the 4-star of the game?
McDavid.
Yeah. Pretty easy
on a night like that, I mean, I don't know. We're filling in the blanks here, right? And you could arrange them how you want, but lame answer. But he scores, and, again, the big dogs eat.
I don't even know where I'm going to go with 38 star of this game. Like, it was a pretty, you know what? I guess I'll go,
Gergensen. Under 10 minutes. We only see him like once a year. And you're giving us under 10 minutes? Yeah, he had a shot.
You know, this guy had an assist last night, but he was -1 and did not have a shot on goal.
Who you're talking about
Braden
here.
Point.
Yeah.
Braden Point. And what was my game day prediction yesterday?
No points for Braden Point? Or
no, I said McDavid would have more points than Point, but I guess he didn't.
Well, but
whatever.
You're close.
It was close. They tied.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
So, thanks. I got it.
We get the point.
But no shots for Braden Point last night. Connor Geekie had no shots, and
Perbix had 3 blocks.
Don Calvis had no shots. The boys were talking about that name last night on the post-game show. Yeah. Nobody knew how to say it. Neither do I.
I think Jack was saying the C was like an S, like Gonsalves.
We might never have to talk about him again.
Yeah, Isolant. Well, that's why trolls like Dusty are just realizing Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the league. Not so much. We don't see.
Well, we
don't see a lot of these guys. Every that type of thing. When they're playing the Oilers, when you come from out east, it's one of those event nights. Like
I watch Vasilevsky against the Oilers and maybe 2 or 3 other times all year.
Right. Yeah.
And
he is.
Every time I do, I have these thoughts. Yeah. It's just like
it reinforces the point.
Man, like he's elite, and they got to him last night. But to stop McDavid and Draisaitl in 3 out of 4 breakaways.
Well, to see one of the best goalies do that and then still get the win, great night for Oilers fans.
Frederick Hook. I don't know if I've ever seen Frederick Hook in the old chat before. Frederick Hook, thanks for being here. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. Says the bottom line, statement win. And he's right. I mean, that was a nice win last night.
You mentioned the upcoming schedule, and it's a bit of a buzzsaw, but this tees it off really nicely.
Yeah, we'll get to that with FanZone.
Yeah.
Because it's a tough challenge here for the next week or so.
Like Blues, Blue Jackets, respectively. Yeah, I mean, milking points there and getting those, that's important too, but this is,
Well, the other thing about this win last night is that they've been winning games by scoring. And Skinner had been playing well, so they've been winning games. They've been scoring 4 goals, 5 goals. They only got 2 last night. They win a tight one. This is like that Vegas game where they played well, but last night they got a couple.
Yep.
And Skinner played well for them, and they end up winning the hockey game 2-1. So I thought that was good. But I mean, I would agree. That's a statement win. I thought that was one of their top. Somebody, where was it? I can't remember. Maybe it was Jack and Louie when they went back to them for their hit on the after show or whatever. Said maybe their best win of the year. I don't think their best win of the year, but I'd put it up there with like the top 3 to 5 wins of the season for the Oilers.
Especially off the heels of that Vegas loss too. You're just saying. I think Skinner was Gene had Skinner post game Stewart, and he made mention of that as well. That it was one of those tests, and you're kind of getting up a step there with with not only the opposition you beat, but the style, in fact, in which you did it.
All right, that is your morning after show as the Edmonton Oilers pick up another victory, move sitting third in the division right now. Los Angeles Kings have won 6 in a row. They're going to be a little bit tough to track down.
Great.
I think they'll get them at some point, but
Avalanche and Canucks occupying those wild card spots this morning.
The 8 teams who are in the playoff picture right now in the West, I think are going to be the 8 teams that are in the playoffs.
Flames are at 33 as well, even on points of the Canucks. Canucks have 2 in hand.
Nothing against the Flames.
Blues are 3 back at 30, and Kraken also 3 back at 30. And then
the coaching
29.
change for the Blues. Maybe they scare somebody. But I think the 8 teams you see as of today,
like Demko's back, if he's back, like it was his first game back.
Can't really rely on that though. But
they did last year, right? So.
All right, portions of the Nielson Show are brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Give the gift of Christmas spirit this year with the Capital Care Foundation. For just a $25 donation, you can bring Christmas alive for a senior living in a Capital Care Center. Hop online and donate, capitalcarefoundation.net. Many of you tried to allocate some funds for donations over the holidays. This is just $25, and you'll give a senior living in a Capital Care Center a Christmas that they may not have otherwise. So you can donate online at capitalcarefoundation.net. All right, let's get into That Hurts this morning. Of course, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Lots of Macramalla intros continuing to roll in. I'm trying to keep these all sorted so we can get to them in hour number 2 today. On Wednesdays, we almost need a practicum student to just sit in here and keep track of Macramalla intros. Yeah. And I say, hand me another one.
Yeah, 2 15 coffees and a half-hour lunch. 8 hours.
That's
shift.
all they get.
It's tough work.
Do I get paid here? No, you're a practicum. And if you complain, I'll find another practicum to replace you. That's tough. All right, That Hurts. Brought to you by Trent and the crew over at James H. Brown, the heavy hitters of injury law. If you've been injured in an accident, go to jameshbrown.com and they will make sure you get what you deserve. The offside, you said it. Cooper, good call, got it done. But I like.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's cheating. Like you get to see it on video review before you even challenge yourself. Like if you're a coach and you challenge for offside and it's wrong, your coaching staff's a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Like you get to look at it.
Yeah.
If you can freeze it yourself and go, oh yeah, that's offside, we'll challenge.
Yeah,
like,
when you've been in the zone skating around for a couple of minutes, you should have ample time to make sure that it's properly.
I was thinking last night, I was like, well, would I modify this? And I just got to the point where I would just get rid of offside review. Like it was put in because of one horrible error, and now you're getting goals called back that simply shouldn't be called back. It's a high-paced game. Let the linesman make the calls. How many of these offside challenges do you actually pick up in real time? Like in real time, as the game's going on. When that goal happened last night, were you already going, no, it's offside. It was offside. It's so close. It doesn't change the game in any way. All you're doing is taking goals off the board, and that hurts the National Hockey League. I think it's and you know what? You're going to probably have 2, 3, maybe 4 across the league a year that are so blatant. They're like this far offside. You're going to have those, and you're just going to have to suck it up and live with it because the officials have to make the call on the ice. Like I hate the fact that you'll see it, and it happens all the time. Guy goes in 2 centimeters offside. The play continues for 35, 40 seconds. Then the goal goes in, and that goal shouldn't count because of this happened back at the blue line? No way, man.
And in that play, in that time, injury could occur as well, which, like I'm just saying, if it should be dead, it should be dead. Now you're basically playing a minute or so of time that doesn't exist, and lots of things can happen in that time that maybe shouldn't be happening. If the play is dead, it's dead. If it's not, let them move on.
Think about before the Duchesne offside, which was just so bad that a bunch of people sat around and were like, well, we better put this in for all offsides.
Never again.
Horrible decision in the first place. But prior to the Duchesne offside, which was like 3 feet, had anybody ever complained and said they need to review offsides? Had that ever been a discussion? I don't remember talking about it before. I don't remember having this big bone to pick or whatever the saying is with the National Hockey League pre-Matt Duchesne offside to be like, nope, they have to review offsides all the time. I don't know. I would just take it out. I don't think anybody, if you took it out, I don't think anybody would complain. I don't think anybody, fans, players across the league, I don't think anybody, refs, I don't think anybody would be like, oh man, you know what? I missed offside reviews. Like
you would complain if you were the victim of a boneheaded or missed call again.
So
that's
3 or 4 times.
I know.
Like, suck it up.
Donkey says, I think that there should be a time limit on the offside challenge. The goal should be challenged within 5 seconds of the offside. So kind of the offside happens. You don't let them screw around in the zone.
Play.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it should be. You can't, if it's offside, and then you let play transpire for another couple of minutes inside that zone. As I said, there could be risk of injury. There could be lots of things that happen there. But maybe the coach, raise your hand, yell, press a buzzer or something. Ref goes, oh, they want to challenge that offside. Boom, we go straight there. But 5 seconds or whatever the case is. And then it eliminates the play's done. No chance at Ekholm scoring a beauty. What a shot that was.
He's got a rocket.
But then it's dead. Everything that happens that doesn't really count in happening ceases to exist.
This one says it doesn't matter if you're offside by an inch or a mile. Offside is offside. Well, then let them just call it. Let them just call it.
What if they can't call it?
I mean, but how many times a year is it so blatant that you're like, wow? It just, I'm sorry. I'm done with offside reviews. Get rid of it. It's overkill.
Jason Leduc says, I can't challenge a play on Madden after I've watched the replay. That should be the rule. No replays for the coaches.
Impossible to make happen though. Trev, where do you come out on the offside review? Like,
this is interesting. I remember when it was being discussed, I was in grade 11 and they made it official that in 2016 it was going to be a rule. And I was excited because, I don't know, I just like the idea. I felt like in every sport there was challenges and NHL was behind. So I was for it then. And I'm still like on the fence, right? When the Oilers get a goal overturned for them, like when they make the challenge, and I'm like, yes, like that's awesome. But when you're on the opposite side of things, like last night,
of course,
I was like, this is stupid. I want this rule out of the freaking game. And just looking at it right now, this was in the 2023-2024 season, a 69% success rate overall. Nice. And I think
how do 31% of coaches blow it?
Yeah,
when you get a look at it before,
and that's kind of I don't really get that. Like I'd like to see. I think I'm really on the fence, but I wouldn't mind seeing. And I feel like the way the sport's going, technology is just getting more and more advanced. I feel like there's going to be a puck one day that just knows whether or not, like there's going to be trackers and a chip. And that's what I would like to see. So the play's just called off right then and there. And then you don't really need linesmen making the offside.
Ref gets a buzzer on the shoulder.
Exactly.
Okay, done.
And then, just done. That's the only way I don't know, 10 years away from
I hate that idea too.
Well, but like, then you would
just let the ref
right.
call the game. Like, but that's what we're doing now.
But when the ref doesn't call it properly, then we're mad.
But that's what we're doing now. Like you're getting the call right every time on a challenge. Like not the team, but the refs are supposedly getting it right all the time, right? So that's what the challenge is doing anyways. It's trying to get every single offside right. So you're saying I guess it would change on the ones that don't lead to goals, I guess, and offside.
Exactly.
Away
so
goals
it would just be done right then and there. And is that not?
Because if that was called offside like it should be, the Ekholm goal doesn't exist. We're not talking about taking offense off the board or whatever the case is.
Because then it's just already offside.
It should be dead. It should be.
And is that not like already advanced in soccer? I swear I see the replays.
Well, I didn't want to get into that, but yeah, they have stuff with that. But
soccer
should lead
soccer
the way.
Does it?
Well,
Hockey should do it too.
You're treading on some dangerous ground there, Trev.
Trev, this might be your last day at Edmonton Sports Talk. If fans heard that.
Hockey's already taking diving away from the game.
Yep.
Hey, boys, my 2 cents. I think offside should only be challenged if that leads to a goal within 15 seconds from zone entry.
15 seconds is still time to get
you can't
in
be
the
messing
corner,
around. You can't be saying, hey, I challenge offside from a period ago, that type of thing. Like, this is too long.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like all these things we're trying to like, oh, we should do this. Just to get rid of it. Just let the linesman make the call.
But we know the linesmen can't make the call.
They're not 100%.
They're not able to do it.
But refs aren't 100% on penalties.
Oh, no.
And that still happens.
Yeah, but AI will come in and do that.
I don't know.
Chips and pucks. That's going to happen.
Yeah, but then how does it work? You'd have to have like a chip in like every single piece of the player's equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how they're over I don't know.
The whole thing will be chipped. It'll be in the microfibers.
780-218-9999. 218-99-99.
Just get rid of offside altogether.
I'd like to see that in like the preseason or something.
Why not?
Just to see what the game was like.
I'd love to see. You want to increase scoring? Baby, let's go.
No offside league.
Pavel Brendel comes out of retirement.
Pavel Brendel comes back, scores 70. lurking up at the other line. I mean, I have a little bit of time for allowing the ref or the linesman to watch it full speed once. And if you can't make the call there, then the call on the ice stands, I guess.
I totally get what you're saying. Like, I get where you're coming from. It's just kind of a... Because, like, I never speed. Why do they have a speed limit? Then you take up the speed limit, and then somebody does something, and
everybody
it's like,
taking off,
put a speed limit, and I don't know. If that avalanche offside, that was so...
Pender's Pancake says, Elon will have people living on Mars in 10 years, and they can't figure out a chip for offside. Yeah.
Jason Ledoux says a chip in their skates. That would be the...
That would have
it,
to be.
Yeah.
On the back of their skates?
Yeah,
Something like that,
probably.
yeah.
It would
What
have
if
to
they're
be
skating backwards into the zone?
Then they would. Then you'd need to have it in the
You're
front.
changing the game.
You need to
it's
have-
a new offensive style, entering the zone backwards.
Sometimes guys would skate in, grabbing the puck,
You're skipping
kind of
the
turning
system.
backwards. I just say,
One in the front and one in the back.
just get rid of it. I just
you need
Double
two
the
chips per
two
skate.
chips.
What if they're skating in
It's like 1,200 chips.
and the left side of their foot goes over the line, or the right side's still over?
The whole skate's a chip. It's a big giant
need-
chip.
they
The
need to
entire
skate.
boot
They need
is
to
a
skate
chip.
on chips.
All right.
They're just going to be called chips.
Anyway, I think it hurts. I think that stupid
does
little
hurt. It's
petty
annoying.
offside hurts, and I'd like to see a way to do it better. That hurts is for James H. Brown. Heavy hitters of injury law. On the way, Darren Dreger is going to join us. He's been at the GM meetings. I don't think he caught too much of the game last night, but I do want to talk about an elevated Darnell Nurse that we've seen lately. What does that mean for the Edmonton Oilers? We'll get into
and
that.
the Panthers getting an outdoor game.
Yeah. That's something.
I mean,
That'll be good.
from the Marlins Stadium too.
And the future of Connor McDavid. When do things get ramped up on that level for 97? We'll get into that a little bit as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be absolutely terrific. Unless, of course, you don't like the fact that the Edmonton Oilers beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in a nice little tidy 2-1 win last night. Maybe you're a Debbie Downer. But if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just send the link to EST to your friends so they too can enjoy what we believe is somewhat entertaining content. Darren Dreger will kick off hour number 2. Following that, we will get to the fan zone. We'll get to the Coolbet computer wheel for the week. Free advice for Damon Bunting and Macramalla on Juan Soto getting $750 million to play baseball. We'll get into all of that coming up here in hour number 2. Right now, let's get to an update with LT.
Painting 100.
The Edmonton Oilers holding off the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1, picking up their 4th straight home victory. Stuart Skinner 21 saves in the win, while Leon Draisaitl notched his 20th goal of the season. Oilers are on the road tomorrow night in Minnesota. Other action last night, Minnesota topping Utah in a shootout. Kraken, they'd fallen in a shootout 2-1 to the Panthers. Jets smoking the Bruins 8-1. The Kings, they remain red hot as well. They won 6 in a row following a 3-1 victory over the Islanders. The beat goes on for Nashville. They've lost 8 straight following a 4-3 loss to the Flames. And the Blues over the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Dylan Holloway with the winner. Thatcher Demko 21 saves at his season debut for Vancouver. Just the one game in the AJ last night. Olds getting past Canmore 3-2. One game on tonight's schedule will see Devon at home to Bonnyville. NBA Cup quarterfinals action last night. Both the Thunder and Bucks advancing to the semis. Quarterfinals action continues tonight with the Knicks hosting the Hawks and the Warriors visiting the Houston Rockets. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service, whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
7:02 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Minus 10 in the Edmonton area right now. We'll cool down. Well, warm up a bit this afternoon, then cool down tonight to around minus 12 degrees. If you see any issues in traffic, you can text them to us, but we might pass them along. We'll see. I'm assuming the Hyundai is going to be slowing down here pretty soon, and give yourself some extra time on the way to work today.
For us, it's just Rainbow Road every morning. Hey,
It is, yeah.
I actually drove into the wrong lane on the weekend. I was going to breakfast. You know, there's construction, all that LRT stuff.
Yeah.
I took a left turn, and I went into like an oncoming lane.
Pre-work?
No. This was like a Sunday morning.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Coming down, I was kind of... But
I did one of those fishtail things in my truck today.
You're a Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, I was getting some heat in those tires. I turned out of like the cul-de-sac and off my road onto like a main road, and I kind of gunned it a little bit, and it was like, and I was like, wow, I wonder if anybody saw that. That was so cool.
You don't do that often. Hey,
No,
you're pretty tight on the gas.
Had the
pedal.
truck for over a year.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've kind
You
of
let her buck a bit. I like it.
The snow, it intimidates me a little bit. But when nobody else is around, I was like, let's take this little guy for a ride. So that's what I did, and it was. I have to say, I liked it.
Do you call it Santa
I might do another
sleigh
fishtailing
during the
tomorrow.
season? Hey, Santa sleigh. That's your truck because you can put the gifts in the back.
And I unroll the windows and I go, ho ho ho, neighborhood.
5 in the morning. I love it.
That's what I do there.
Please continue.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We'll get to more of your text messages coming up. Hour number 2. Darren Dreger is going to get us started. So Drag should be by shortly. Then we'll get into the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. Then we will spin the wheel. We'll get a random parlay from the computer today for our partners over at Coolbet. Free advice for Damon Bunting. And then Eric Macramalla will pop by. Juan Soto, talked about it earlier in the week, but we haven't got Macramalla's take on this yet. But Juan Soto getting $750 million to go to the Mets. So we'll get into that as well. Lots of reaction to that conversation we were just having about offsides. I mean, if they were to just blow out the review, we would lose that talking point like 2 or 3 times a year.
Sure.
Yeah, it's usually good for 2 or 3 conversations.
We're milking it, baby.
Throughout the season. I had a couple of other pretty good replies on this, though. I like this is an interesting one. Guys, I want a team who knows that the other team is offside to immediately have 2 guys fly the zone and start cherry picking. There's no risk on it. It's a free play.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know it's coming back for offside.
Whatever.
McDavid waits to the other blue line, you try to grab it once, fire it down. But then how? No, but that wouldn't work.
No, but
because if you scored, the review, I guess you don't challenge it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you challenged it, your goal wouldn't count at the other end.
Anything you want during that time. It's free time because it's all going to be called back anyways.
Dregs was just at the NHL meetings. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they discussed getting rid of offside review as much as we have this morning. But let's get to our Hockey Insider today, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. The deadline for the private signing with the Moose, Mark Messier, today, 5 o'clock. You can submit your items or select from theirs, located in Edmonton, the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, online at proamsports.ca. That's a big one. Mark Messier, private signing. Deadline is today at 5 o'clock, proamsports.ca. All right, let's bring in Dregs this morning. You know, Dregs, there was a close call last night, an offside in the Oilers Lightning game, brought back the first goal of the game for Ekholm. And it's funny because as Trev said, he's kind of our fan on the show. He's like, yeah, you know, when it goes for the Oilers, I'm like, oh, I like review. And when it goes against it, you're like, this is ridiculous. And I just said this morning, we had a segment we were talking about earlier, and I don't think there will ever be an app, but I just was like, just get rid of it and you deal with the 2 or 3 or 4 blatant ones across the league every year and you go, damn it, they missed it. But I don't know. It hasn't won me over and it's been around for a long time.
No, but look, when it comes to video review, and you're right. I mean, we all know why it started. It started with Matt Duchene in Colorado being 13 feet offside.
Yeah.
So, you know, the word that was used then that always applies to any review is egregious. So if the play is egregiously wrong, in that case, he was offside. Hence, you've got the offside review. But the problem is wrong is still wrong. So if you're a half inch offside, you're still offside. right? It's just in the spirit of the judgment call back in the day, pre-video review, your linesmen had to pay attention. They had to be super in tune on that line to determine, whether or not the play is onside or offside. And guys, you see it now. The linesmen positionally are still there, right? And we probably see it a bunch of times per game where they'll call the offside. I mean, they're not afraid to blow the whistle. But if it's close, they let the play develop and they allow the coach's challenge to take that over. It's just, I remember when they first implemented video review, and the messaging from Colin Campbell and the brass, including Gary Bettman, by the way, was there's going to be unintended consequence here that we can't forecast. But when you let the genie out of the bottle, good luck. And that's kind of where we're at now. The whole process of video review, not specific to offside, but goaltender interference, go down the list of things. It's a big issue, and it's not going away.
Dregs, you were just at the NHL meetings. A couple of things coming out of it, and we'll get to some McDavid stuff in a second. Expansion was also brought up as well. It was a great hit with you guys saying you can't leave one of these meetings without hearing about expansion. And money's money, right? When it's all said and done. Is there a timeline? Do you have any sort of idea of when we could see something like that?
Well, it's inevitable. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But Bettman was quick to dismiss it yesterday, as he always is, right? I mean, he gets into his post-meeting scrum. Did you talk about expansion? No. And he does acknowledge that there are always interested parties that will approach the National Hockey League. And this week, that no different. There was representatives from Atlanta who made a visit. Now, they didn't get into the boardroom, but one or two of them, pulled as many of the owners as they could aside to try and express why the NHL should go back to Atlanta. But beyond that, expressions of interest, there doesn't seem to be anything that's on their radar. What was interesting to me, fellas, and I don't know how much play it got, outside of our reporting, was the presentation that was given on global growth. And you're talking about international teams here, right? Yeah. Now, I don't think that you're ever going to see an NHL division, maybe a team in London, maybe a team in Stockholm, maybe, expansion to China, all of that. It's just from a travel perspective, logistically, it's not going to fly. But here's why the NHL believes strongly that they've got to do a better job of growing the game globally, because of the millions and millions and millions of dollars left on the table when it comes to NHL merchandise. Here's a bizarre one for you, fellas. Dusty, just go online somewhere, try and buy something for your kids for Christmas that's related to the Four Nations. Can't be done. It's not available until January. Yeah. Right? Like, how does that even, so I'm giving an example of North America play here. The NBA has done a masterful job of marketing in Europe and across the world, and they've made a boatload, like hundreds of millions of dollars in merchandise sales. And multiple sources yesterday said the National Hockey League is embarrassed at how little they sell outside of North America. Well, maybe there can be an affiliate league down the road. Maybe there can be with the NHL Shield attached to it, but there's no competitive, venue for NHL teams to play those teams other than what we already see in the global series, et cetera. So when you talk about growth and expansion, I think the focus from an NHL owner perspective is more on the financial growth of the game and looking at some of the untapped markets in Europe and China, et cetera.
Darren, the NBA's got their NBA Cup in-season tournament, counts towards the regular season. It doesn't really separate too much, but in terms of European destinations or global, I mean, China you mentioned as well, perhaps like an in-season 2-week off tournament or something where a couple of teams flying around. I just want to get your thoughts on that, plus going into one of the other topics discussed, and that was schedule changes. Can you elaborate a bit more on that point?
Wow. See, you're right, Eric. That's where it gets gummed up for me, okay? I deeply appreciate why, again, the financial growth of the game matters so much because, again, we talked about the projection of the salary cap and the CBA negotiations that have to take place in the near future. And Pierre LeBrun, talked about the fact that some tweaks to the schedule are still very much on the NHL radar. They can appreciate that it's not ideal handing out the Stanley Cup the end of June, right? And how do you change it? Now you've got American networks who are committed to Major League Baseball. You can't start in September or early October because, what are they going to just try and squeeze in NHL regular season games, around the World Series, et cetera? I mean, it gets really complicated, and the network money matters to every NHL owner. And then you add, the Four Nations, the World Cup, the Olympics, the international calendar condenses the regular season on top of that. So, you can shorten the preseason. You can add 2 games to the regular season. You can do all sorts of cool things. At the end of the day, my biggest concern, if I were a man inside that boardroom, is, all right, well, how much of a risk am I putting my players in? Like, these guys already don't have practice time. Mark my words, when the schedule comes out next year, fellas, you're going to see more teams play segments of 5 games in 7 days next year. Imagine that, 5 games in a 7-day period. Now, how many times is it going to happen? Probably not a lot. But this year, across the entire regular season matrix of 32 teams involved in the regular season, 2 times it's happening where a team plays 5 times in 7 days. And it's because the schedule maker next year is losing 14 days. 14 days.
So you pretty much have to do it. Like, you have to do it. Yeah.
Well, you have to do it. So now we're talking about trying to trim it on the front end and at the back end and all of that. And I hope they find a way. I'm skeptical for sure.
Darren Dreger with us on the show this morning for Pro-Am Sports. I know the guys over at Pro-Am have already expressed their agreement with you on the Team Canada jerseys not being available before Christmas. I already got that text as you've been talking about it, which is missing out on a ton of opportunity, man. I mean, a lot of kids will like the new Team Canada jersey. Like,
it's mind-boggling.
Makes no sense. I mean, known this event was coming for a long time. How would you not have the jerseys out before Christmas? But also, you guys on Insider Trading talked a little bit about Connor McDavid. Even when there's really no news, it's still news. With I got sucked in. I clicked the link and I was like, well, I mean, it's not going to sign to July 1st or after. But still, it's going to be a fascinating conversation for a long time here, Drakes.
Yes, but it really turned out to be a shameless plug for Pierre LeBrun's sit down with Jeff Jackson in the Athletic. He's just trying to sell clicks. That's
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. And when you attach the greatest player in the league's name to it, in this case, Connor McDavid, we're going to read it. But I think it was high value that, Jeff Jackson kind of gives us a timeline on what their expectation is. And I think that aligns with Connor McDavid. His focus is where it needs to be and always has been on trying to win games. And now in light of getting to Game 7, of getting back to that Stanley Cup final. And the reality of the contract negotiation is what we know. He can't do anything before July 1st anyway. And what does the salary cap look like? I mean, there are so many variables that need to be considered and in play here. Now's not the time to do it. But, I don't think anybody should be surprised or shocked when July 1st rolls around and the Edmonton Oilers, follow a very similar timeline to what they did with Leon. But making sure that they acknowledge, okay, man, you just have your people, in this case, Judd Moldaver, put down what you want, and we'll work off that, and away we go. I can't imagine that this one is going to turn salty or be that difficult, other than a number that Connor is going to command, and he's earned whatever that number is.
Yeah, well, that number is whatever he wants. I mean, essentially. Yeah. I mean, that should be a blank check. If there's been a blank check situation in the National Hockey League, that would be it. One more place I want to go, Dregs, and Darnell Nurse has been playing extremely well. Some people said Ryan Reeves knocked some sense into him, but I think he was actually trending in a good direction before the injury. Yeah. What does that do? Like, they've been playing Kulak. They've been putting them together, then they've run Stetcher with them, but him and Kulak, when they're together, they've been outstanding. But an elevated Darnell Nurse, what does that do for the Oilers, do you think, the rest of the season, if he can continue the way he's going? Yeah.
Well, it's a godsend, right? And so when you go back to the start of the year and the troubles that the Oilers were going through, and the messaging from management was, look, our best players just have to be better. Well, that just didn't, include Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and for a degree, or for a point, maybe Leon and Connor. No, that was across the board. But Darnell Nurse has responded this year, and I think he's been very consistent to a point, fellas, and this wouldn't come as a surprise. You probably talked about it on the show. I mean, of course, he was considered for Team Canada in their Four Nations roster. I don't think that he got as much, attention or accolade as, say, Evan Bouchard or some of the other defensemen that Team Canada ultimately passed by. But, he's polished some of the parts of his game that the Oilers probably saw in him when they extended him in the fashion that they did. So, he can play a little bit of everything. For me, the games that I watched, Darnell Nurse is best when he's physically engaged, but he keeps the game simple, right? He's not trying to do too much. He leans on his partner, but he makes a simple play, and he gets the puck to the forwards. And when he's not overthinking, trying to do too much, then he's a very effective player. And maybe that just takes time over a career, right? I'm always reminded of this. I think it was Ken Hitchcock, 20 years ago told me, you don't know what you have in an NHL defenseman until that guy has played over 300 NHL games. That's a lot of hockey before you know. When it comes to defense and goaltending, maybe that's fair.
Drake, as always, man, we appreciate it. Usually we talk with you on Mondays. Today we're talking with you on a Wednesday. When's the next episode? Did you guys just drop one yesterday?
We did yesterday, yeah, and it'll either be next episode will either be tomorrow or Friday, just depends. My flight has been delayed here. I'm still in Florida.
Oh, are you?
Sadly,
so you got stuck in Florida. Tough gig.
I know. Geez. As soon as I hang up from you guys, I'm going for a walk on the beach. So it's
how long a delay are we talking here?
Right now it's an hour and a half. But
that's not too bad. that's not too bad. I had a real good year. Like
I'll find a way to fill the time.
I fly like every weekend for like 5.5 months, and I had one flight like significantly delayed all season. So I got pretty lucky. So hang in there, man. Hang in there. You'll be all right.
Do my
You'll be all
best.
right. Enjoy your walk.
We're thinking of you.
Enjoy your walk. We'll talk to you next week, Dregs.
Okay, guys. Have a
There you
good
go.
one.
That's Darren Dreger with TSN and the Ray and Dregs podcast. And man, an extra hour and a half in Florida.
He does not, though, planes, trains, and automobiles like you do kind of around the Canadian prairies during the season.
Yeah.
A drive here, then a short flight here.
I try to do everything I can to avoid the Calgary airport.
I love it.
Just because I want directs to Regina and Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And sometimes the travel lady can't book it in time. She's like, we're going to have to send you through Calgary. And I get frustrated because then it's up and down. You wait. However, the WestJet Lounge in Calgary is unbelievable. I really shouldn't complain. Like the odd time I've been stuck like in Calgary for like a couple hours on a layover. The WestJet Lounge in Calgary.
What makes it so good? Do you get like a massage?
Well, you
water
can
massage?
you can
or
go
what's
in, you sit down.
What's the food of choice?
And then you like they've got what's the code?
Yeah.
What's the code? QR code. They got the QR code sitting on your table.
Okay.
You scan that. You order your food, you hit submit, and they just bring it to you. It's awesome. You sit down, it's just like, oh, French fries?
Like a sultan.
I think I will. Click. Oh, spiced rum and Diet Coke? Yes, I think I will.
That's a dangerous
and it's
game.
Like, I don't think there's a limit on it or anything. It was, yeah.
You don't even have to pay.
It's all included.
It's all included, yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, I love that WestJet Lounge in Calgary. By far the best WestJet Lounge in Western Canada. I slept in there one time for like an hour and a half. And they have a lay down thing. It was great. Anyway, I guess maybe I don't mind the Calgary airport.
It's the idea.
I just hate going through Calgary, but when I'm in Calgary, I'm like, oh yeah, WestJet Lounge. So that certainly helps. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, portions of the Nielsen Show. Brought to you by our great partners over at Alley Cat. Give the gift that everybody loves at Christmas, a 4-pack of the 6 o'clocker lager.
Yes.
Which is on for just $12.99 through the holidays. Like, come on.
We're at the point now where you're kind of, there's a few people you're like, I don't know. Like you've got probably a lot of gifts, but this is a good kind of space filler, so to speak. You get a flat of those at that $4
at $12.99 a pop.
Get a flat, and then you can just kind of fill in the cracks of your gift giving right now, because nobody's gonna like it. It's a 4-pack of Tall Boys during the Christmas season.
Flat of this right now for what, like $52?
Yeah, I already have. I have like 4 or 5 people I know that I can just kind of slide that in there with another gift or whatever,
and they're gonna be grateful,
and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah,
I might get one for every person on staff.
Hot dog.
6 o'clocker loggers for everybody. 'Tis the season. And of course, Alley Cat's got a lot more than the 6 o'clocker lager, but they partner with us on the 6 o'clocker lager, and they partner with Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, and it's just $12.99 through the holidays. So go and hammer the 6 o'clocker lager. If you've not yet tried it yet, first of all, I don't know how you haven't tried it yet. Second of all, you're missing out on an absolutely delicious beer. I don't even know if we have any here. I don't even know if we have any here. As soon as they're here, Trev, did you take some? That's an evil little look, little guy.
I haven't taken any, but I drink a few every now and then.
Every now and then.
I think last Friday I had the last one.
Fridge stock's getting a little low.
It is.
We used to have like 3 layers of beers on top of the fridge. Now we're down to 1 layer.
That's what an engineer's party does to you there.
Yeah.
Or staff
Nice
here.
work, Awanik. Nice work, Awanik.
Yep.
Gager does like 2 or 3 a day.
He's
almost certain.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think we found our man.
Yeah, he's the guilty party. All right, let's get into the fan zone right now, and then you can get that wheel ready too, Trev, because we're going to hit that, the random wheel for our NFL parlay with our partners over at Coolbet. Let's dive into the fan zone right now for fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees. If you got your tickets at Fans First, you went to the game cheaper last night than everybody else. You're the smartest person there. Only smart people use fansfirst.ca. All right, here's the question, boys. I mean, we can get into a couple of things from Dreger. Darnell Nurse has been outstanding. I think we got a question that came in earlier for 3 questions too many, so we can continue the Darnell Nurse conversation there. But the Edmonton Oilers, in their next 4 games, very interesting. Mm-hmm. They go on the road, then they have 5 games at home. Get your tickets for that homestand at fansfirst.ca. They get a Christmas present for somebody over there. The Wild, Vegas, Florida,
Wild
and
on the
Boston.
road.
Yeah,
Wild on the road,
Wild
and
on
then
the
a
road,
5-gamer, which is
and then
top
5-gamer at home, which is, you're right, top heavy. Vegas, Florida, and Boston. So they've already got the 2 against Tampa that kind of was like the start of this difficult. I don't even want to really call it difficult 5-game stretch, because what is Boston right now? They just got bare butt spanked by the Jets last night.
I think it's a 4-game.
I think it's a 4-game, but I'm going to throw Boston into it.
Okay.
Because they're still the Bruins, even though they're not really still the Bruins.
Well, when those teams come here too, you get a lot of Bruins fans, and it's one of those nights, you know.
Mark it down as a dub. But anyway, what do you expect? What are you expecting from the Oilers over this next 4 games? They've been playing extremely well. They get Minnesota. We saw what happened when they played Minnesota last time. The Wild should have won that game like 7-0. They get the Wild, then they get Vegas on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And then Florida on Monday night, and then Boston. So 8 points up for grabs in the fan zone today. And tag your text with fan zone or over in the chat with fan zone.
Fan zone.
What are you expecting them to get out of the 8 points up for grabs here over the next 4 games? 3 of them tough, and then we threw Boston in as like a pity Boston play here.
Original 6. I'll say they lose tomorrow in Minnesota, albeit not like it was the last time these 2 teams met, and then they'll win the next 3. I think they
saying 6.
I think they get the Vegas revenge on Saturday afternoon. They'll be fully torqued for that Stanley Cup matchup, the prime matchup on Monday. And the Bruins, I don't really consider them. Now, again, it might be a tougher game physically than the other 2, but yeah, lost tomorrow, 3 straight wins, back on the streak.
Well, I mean, they get 6 of 8 points from these 4 games. They are Stanley Cup contenders among a top 3 again. You know what
Vegas
I mean?
afternoon one at home, because they've been so close each time, both home and away. And then you get a little matinee one from Rogers Place, which is like that's a hockey night in Canada. Like that's a big game for 2 in the afternoon. So that's kind of a funny one, but I'll go with that.
JCD 780 says if we, Tommy would hate him, if we get 5 out of 8, I'll be content. YouTube Trev, 8 points up for grabs here in the next 4 games. Ooh. 3 pretty stiff tests. Yep. What do you think they get? What would be the minimum to make you a happy boy?
I'm right with JCD. Probably 5 or 6. They have to get at least 5 or 6 points. Anything else, I'd be quite disappointed. Oilers have.
If they get 6, I think you got to be pretty happy.
Oh yeah, I'd be really happy about that. They're facing the Wild tomorrow. Last time they did, obviously, that was probably their worst showing all season long. I don't expect. Oh man, that's tough. I don't know. I don't know where to go because the last one I was just like, oh, they've sucked against this team for my whole childhood. But no, they've turned a corner. So I still want to think that. I think they're going to be pissed off. I think they're going to beat the Wild. And then you go to the Golden Knights. That one's interesting because if it was, I don't know, the being at 2 p.m., that kind of changes my mind. Like the boys,
they've been better in matinees as of late.
They have.
It's PTSD kind of.
Yeah, it's weird with that as well. You know what? They're going to beat the Golden Knights. Same thing. They're going to be mad. I can't see them going down 3 games to the Golden Knights to start the season. They're going to take that one, and obviously you got the big one, the Panthers Oilers. I think they're going to be pissed all 3 of these games, and then I think the stinker is going to be the Bruins. I think they're losing to the Bruins.
Man, I let down.
Yeah, that's how I think it's going to happen.
I let down at the end.
I really could see it.
You know what? I will say this: if they get 4 of 8 from this stretch, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. That would be the bare minimum. If you only win 1 of these games and then get a loser point somewhere along the way, not ideal.
Because after that, in the next 6, they play the Ducks twice, the Sharks, and the Senators. For those
Coolbet account is going to skyrocket over the holidays.
3 of those 4 at home.
I'm more scared of those games, honestly.
Oh boy. Ryan from SK says, OT loss tomorrow night. No Brodeen for Minnie. I think that helps. Colin the Amishman says, the fan zone. I expect 5 of 8 points. Tough sked. And anything more than that is gravy.
Minnesota's still a tough nut for this team, I think. Like they play. I mean,
Minnesota's been arguably the best team in the league all year.
I know, but they play in a way against the Oilers that really kind of stifles them. That we talked about the blue line before, and
all right, let's get into our Cool Bet segment today as we are going to spin the NFL wheel. We put together our parlay yesterday. We're trying to make it 3 in a row. We got a little carried away yesterday. Not going to lie, we took 3 underdogs on our parlay. By the way, the Lock Shop partner parlay hit yesterday. It was 5-1. So hopefully you're riding with us on this one.
To reiterate what we did yesterday, though, Trev's riding the Bills, correct?
He's on the Bills.
I took, what was it again? You
got the Bucks
on the road.
On the road, we all have road dogs, and I took Miami on the road against Houston.
Okay, good.
It was 10-1. We've got the bump over at Coolbet to plus 1154. So let's say you bet. I'll just use a number. I never bet this high on something like this for a parlay.
Nice round number.
If you bet $100 on this, you bring back $1,254. You bet 10 on it. I mean, do the math on it. Break it down. 124, 50, or whatever. So $5.
Savage
put
line
$5 on.
1.
Yeah. So that is the EST Road Dog Early Bird Special. That is in the combo cards at the top of Coolbet. If you go to coolbet.com, you will see it right at the top. The parlay we're going to add now will also end up on the combo cards as well. All right, boys, let's give it a good spin that wheel. 4 cool bets. Sign up today. Use the code LOCKSHOP. 100% deposit bonus.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. All right, so we'll just go Chiefs money line. There's no way we can take the Chiefs to beat anybody by 4 points right now. Even my man Jameis. So let's just go
the
Chiefs.
Dog pound, exactly.
Chiefs money line is minus 213. Nice start, Wheel. Nice start.
Yep.
All right. Spin that wheel. Come on. Give it to us.
The Giants.
At home to the Ravens. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. All right. Well, we will take the Giants plus the what's the total here? Where is it? Is that game off the book right now? Oh no, there it is.
Oh, that's too bad.
Damn. I was going to say, if it's off the book, I guess we can't get it.
Oh, darn.
I mean, I didn't see it on there.
Actually, it's moved in favor of the Giants. Plus 14.5.
Okay.
So we just need the Giants to lose by less than 15 points. All right. All right, Wheel. Don't screw us again.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Spin that wheel. The wheel taking the Giants just proves that this is not rigged. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Who do we got?
The Broncos.
The Broncos. Don't hate that. They're coming off a bye. They get the Colts. Take them on the money line. That's minus 200, and that brings us to plus 325. So I will send this over to Jake from Coolbet, unless he's watching right now. He'll already get it. But the wheel has given us the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Giants, and the Denver Broncos.
Penner's pancakes. Spin again. You can't just keep spinning until you.
No, we got to take the Giants.
You live and die by the wheel, baby.
I mean,
it's
going to be tough for the Giants to hang in there with the Ravens. But whatever. Stranger things.
14. What?
It's 14. You can score a touchdown late and lose by 13.
The Ravens?
Come on, do something. Do something for us.
4-3 away, like they're playing with their food after a hot start. Let's see. Let's just see. Giants will be frustrated after missing a field goal to tie it last week, losing at home.
All I care is that they throw the ball to Neighbors. Sure. That's it. Spite lead.
Neighbors will save us.
Gotta have them.
He'll 14.5.
All right, let's get to an update for Park Mazda. Also, by the way, with Coolbet, poker tournament next Tuesday. Quick turnaround here. Poker tournament next Tuesday. Tuesday, December 17th, 8 o'clock. Just because the holiday season's coming up, everyone's going to be busy. We're going to do the poker tournament next Tuesday. So if you're one of our regular Lock Shop Poker Series event folks, be ready. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get to an update for Park Mazda. Free advice for Damon Bunting. It is fantasy playoff time. What do you need help with? Life advice, fantasy advice, relationship advice, work advice. What do you need help with? 780-218-9999. And yeah, Trev said, well, we're 14 away from changing 200. Come on, crank it up. That's 14. Yeah, that's child's play. Well, this guy does an update.
The Edmonton Oilers make it 4 straight wins at home as they hold off the Lightning 2-1. Stuart Skinner, 21 saves. Leon Draisaitl launching his 20th goal of the season. The Oilers will visit the Wild tomorrow night. Elsewhere last night, Wild topping Utah in a shootout. It was the Jets over the Bruins 8-1. Kraken, they fall in a shootout to the Panthers 2-1. Kings over the Islanders 3-1. LA have won 6 in a row. Nashville have lost 8 straight following a 4-3 loss to the Flames. And Dylan Holloway with the overtime winner. Thatcher Demko, 21 saves in his season debut for the Canucks. They fall in overtime to the Blues 4-3. In the AJ last night, just one game. Olds getting past Canmore 3-2. One game tonight. We'll see Devon at home to Bonnyville. NBA Cup quarterfinals action last night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 39. OKC top the Dallas Mavericks 118-104. While Giannis had 37, leading the Bucks over Orlando 114-109. Quarterfinals action continues tonight. Atlanta visit the Knicks, while the Warriors are on the road in Houston. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where Mitch spins the wheel to determine staff Christmas bonuses.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Live Road, parkmazda.ca.
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid, about 75 pounds on the basketball court against the neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center.
I call you when I need you, my heart's on fire.
When it was all said and done, he was a little upset, so he punched me in the mouth.
You come to me, wild and wild.
My uncles were over on the side, observing, talking amongst themselves, adult things.
When you come to me, give me a...
When he punched me in my mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. And you know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back and he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needed Big Brother to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eyes and I said, my uncle's not going to help me. And I punched him in the face. Then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do?
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. Stuck on your heart. Hang on every word you say.
A little K3 pump-up song from our friends over at Whale and the Wolf. Gotta love it. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And it's time for free advice for Damon Bunting. If you like to buy a house for Christmas or sell your house for Christmas, Damon Bunting's your guy. He'll have you taken care of. www.damonbunting.com. Check out his Instagram account as well, at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Community driven, and he understands what it takes to make a difference in the city. Buying and selling is a great segment on the Reed Wilkins Show in the afternoon. And yeah, we don't mess around. I mean, if you want to do business with a good guy, if you want to sell your home or look for a home and trust who you're dealing with and know that he's going to get the job done for you, Damon Bunting's the guy.
And it may even lead to a friendship. You meet the guy once, you have a conversation, and it's kind of like
the guy who won the trip was going to take him living. That's how good a guy this guy is. Bunting's a beauty. And he has a great selection of shoes as well.
Yeah, big in the shoe game.
Right?
I think him and Reed are talking about the new release of his Air Reed Wilkins
that makes sense.
line, yeah.
That makes sense. Damon Bunting, the only realtor Edmonton Sports Talk does business with. Get it done today. All right, what do you need help with? Fantasy playoffs, work advice, life advice. What do you need? 780-218-9999.
Jared's got an interesting
Some
one.
good ones already rolling in here. Yeah, we'll get to Hula Boy Steve, too. Jared says, advice. I'm thinking about driving my car through the front of Park Mazda as a hilarious prank. What say you?
Probably
not.
Hinging off that video yesterday that, was it Subaru?
Yeah. My advice would be don't do that.
No.
How's that sound?
Well, also, if it's a penny, if it's a couple of $1,000 gripe, you're only adding on to your.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't lessen your financial pain there. It only adds to it. Like,
Hula Boy Steve is asking, guys, my coworker is leaving for a 2-month vacation tomorrow. What prank should I do in his office while he's gone? That's a good one. I would definitely take a dump in his desk.
It's cheap.
Just kidding.
It's cheap. It's
just kidding. I don't know. What would you do? You know what? If his office is better than yours, I would just work in it for the next 2 months.
I'm reminded of The Office, and Dwight Schrute would always have pranks played on him from old Jimbo there.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a couple. I think Dwight put all of his things in a Jello mold at one time. Like everything was Jello mold. But the best, and it fits with the season, is he wrapped everything.
The whole thing.
Everything was wrapped. The desk was wrapped. The pencils, everything was kind of wrapped up.
That's a weird one when the guy comes back in February, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
I mean, it would still be hilarious.
Yeah,
I once
because he'd miss Christmas, so it'd just be waiting there for him.
I once lived in my roommate's room for 2 months because he would always stay at his girlfriend's place, and I had this horrible single bed. It was awful. And he worked at a Leon's and had this big fancy queen bed, and it was so comfortable. So I just slept in his bed for 2 months because he never came home at night. I just slept in his bed all the time. It was terrific, and he never would come home in the morning. And he was at her place all the time. Then he'd come home and he'd be like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" He would never know. I just slept in his bed.
Never washed those sheets, eh?
Nope. The things I did to those sheets.
Hey,
take that. That's a prank. Hampton Steve says, fill all the desk drawers with styrofoam popcorn pieces.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Or one of those snakes that jumps out of the can.
Yeah.
But it's at the desk.
That's a good one.
You're waiting years or months to get that joke to pay off for you. That's not a good one.
Relocate everything in his office.
To somewhere else?
Or just put it in different places in his office. So if he has a binder in his one drawer, put it in another drawer. Maybe take out all the papers in that binder, put them somewhere else. Take out the batteries in his clock, unplug, unplug all of his computers and whatever, all of his electronics. Put the sticky note under the mouse. So he's like, why is my mouse is broken?
Trev, you're a real prankster.
Yeah, thank you.
If there's any pranks around here, I'm pointing the finger at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love pranking people. But
real prankster.
What else? You could, if he has a couch in there, just take out all the cushions. Something like that.
Set up a calendar from 2022.
Yeah. That'd be good. Another good one. Just mess with his office. That's what I would say.
Josh says, guys, a simple, subtle, and always effective is to switch the 1, 2, 3 and the 7, 8, 9 on the number pad on the keyboard. Guaranteed frustration when all his passwords don't work.
That'd be good.
Oh, that's greasy, hey?
And even a few of the letters. Yeah, that'd be good as well. There's a lot of options.
Colin the Amishman says, I think Hula Boy Steve should get his coworker a hot tub, pee in it, and then say the foam is Epsom salts. That would be a hilarious joke as well. That's pretty good. Dusty, who would you start in playoffs this week? Bo Nix or Patrick Mahomes? And am I even crazy for asking? You're not crazy for asking. Patrick Mahomes has been a fantasy disappointment this year. I don't even think I'd have him, even with this matchup against the Browns. I don't think I'd have him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback this week going into playoffs.
Tough in Cleveland. Bo Nix at home.
I'd start Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I mean, monitor the weather situation.
Yep.
But I would probably start Bo Nix ahead of Patrick Mahomes. And that's coming from a guy who made playoffs in 7 of his 9 leagues.
Any update on that? Are you in? You out?
I'm in.
You're in. Oh,
I'm
you're in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so now they have to choose who they want to play.
Phone read.
The number 2, the number 3, and the number 4 guys get to pick between the 5, 6, and 7 of who they want to play.
They pick their
they pick their opponent, and the guy who has first pick is Patty from the Brewhouse.
Yep.
And I don't think he's going to pick me. I think he's going to.
Do you have a gentleman's agreement?
No. I think at least one of, if not both of the teams ahead of me are worse. I think they should go ahead. Go ahead. Choose me, the group that just snuck in. I'm riding Cooper Rush in the Superflex League to a title.
Good God.
I know. I mean, it does get Carolina this week.
It all depends on the weeks, right? Yeah. That's you ride it, live and die by the schedule.
All right, this one rolls in. You already kind of had a take on this earlier today, but boys, my fiance and I have a major issue. I refuse to shovel snow until it completely stops snowing. She wants me out there shoveling as soon as there's like a skiff of snow. How do I handle this?
I was going to say, is this from my wife? But it's the rules are flipped here. No, my wife gets anxiety. She's like, shouldn't you be out there? Because we have a crotchety old hag that lives next to us, and she's out there 35 times a day.
Oh yeah,
like she's got nothing better to do.
She has nothing else to do.
Which I understand.
She's watching soaps and shoveling.
But we both work, and we have lives and et cetera, et cetera. So by that, my wife feels guilty that she's out there all the time. But you can't. It's not a competition. You do it when you do it. You do it when it's done. You don't want to go out there and what's the point? I kind of meet Tam. First of all, Tammy loves to shovel. So if she can, she'll be like, I'll go shovel. And I'm like, no, let me do it. Yeah. And then she goes, but I like it. I say, okay, fine. Just because you like it, I'll let you do it. Don't forget this. Don't forget You're
this.
You're so generous.
I'm a great husband. What can I say? But I shoveled yesterday, like midway through it. And then I'm going to have to shovel again today, probably when I get home.
It lessens the load, I get it. But this wasn't exactly a big dump. It should be fine. It's not heavy or anything, so.
Northside Sandwich says, I would shovel once an hour unless the snow is scheduled to go less than 3 hours. I remember once as a child, I thought it was going to be a real cool thing. It was like a heavy, heavy snowfall in Cranbrook. And I think it was during the Christmas holidays, so I didn't have school the next day. And I don't know. I guess I was still a stupid kid back then, but I told my mom, I think my dad was working nights. I told my mom, I said, I'll stay up all night long and I'll shovel. And she goes, what? I said, I'll go out and shovel every hour and a half all night long for the family. And she goes, well, how are you going to stay awake? I said, I'm going to watch all 5 Rocky movies on VHS. And I fell asleep midway through Rocky 2 and didn't go and shovel again the whole night.
Holding the shovel.
But it was my big thing. I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to stay up. I was planning it all day. I was like, I'm going to stay up all night, watch all 5 Rocky movies, and shovel the driveway all night long. And then I didn't even get to Clubber Lang.
Planning tired you out. You were too much.
Yeah.
It was too much of a.
Sometimes you come up with a great plan and you just can't execute it because you get tired. That's it. Anyway, I remember that was one of the most exciting times. I didn't have a super exciting childhood, but that was one of my favorite moments.
But Tammy got out there yesterday, did she?
Nope. No, I did it yesterday.
Okay, well, coming to the rescue. She's under the weather.
Hey,
that's a big.
Somebody has to step up.
Somebody for sure.
I guess that's me. Yeah. All right, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. If you do have any fantasy football questions for the playoffs, slide in my DMs on Twitter. I send a picture of your feet, of course. And then you can also just hit me up where other people can see, and maybe they chime in on it as well. Or you can text us, and I'll try to reply to some of those. But we'll see what we can get to. All right, we got Eric Macramalla waiting. We're going to talk this Juan Soto deal, but let's get to some Macramalla intros that have rolled in so far today. ESC legal analyst and guy who claims paradoxical undressing due to hypothermia is why he was naked at his friend's wedding in Mexico.
Points for the wordiness.
ESC legal analyst and guy who lives his life based on the teachings of Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is why he solves all of his problems with spin kicks. ESC legal analyst and guy who worked his way through law school by performing in a drag show under the name Erica Macramellans. That one's in from William Mikespear today. EST legal analyst and guy whose fantasy is to include honey dill dip as a part of foreplay in the bedroom. ESC legal analyst and guy who recently finished his PhD in the art of seduction. Dr. Eric Macramalla.
At U of M.
That's pretty good. ESC legal analyst and guy who screams at his staff, I am the reason for the season, while explaining why they work 31 days in December and he's been off since October. That's a pretty good one as well. EST legal analyst and guy who brings his own gavel to court Because if you're not cheating, you're not trying. He hits it on the other side. That's pretty good. All right, let's bring in Eric Macramalla today. Macramalla, good morning. How are you, sir?
My man, I never thought about bringing my own gavel to court. I have to say.
Feel like you would have done that already. Yeah.
Instead of wearing the wig, I wear an afro wig. That's different. I'm like, what it is, baby? What it is, big mama? That's why I open every closing argument.
You don't actually, when you go to court, you're not wearing a robe, are you?
Yeah, of course.
I thought just judges wore robes. You're messing with me.
No, in Canada, we have to wear robes.
Come on.
I'll wear a robe for the next segment. Assuming you're not doing the Spengler Cup, which is the greatest trampoline tournament in the world and will be gone soon. I don't know, because I know we're approaching the time of year where you abandon your family at the most sensitive time.
Well, you know what? I'll bring it up this year.
By the way, I'm just reading off cue cards. I want to be clear. I'm reading off cue cards. These are not my comments. I didn't write this stuff.
I'm not abandoning my family this year. I'm staying with them for the holidays, my man.
So as I was driving in today, I was like, something tells me this year, as I think about you a lot.
Thanks, man.
Like constantly.
Yeah.
Always.
Good.
And I said to myself, it feels like this year, you're not going to abandon your family at the most sensitive time to do the trampoline tournament. You're going to stay in town, but still be emotionally unavailable.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. Of course.
I always am during the holidays.
Because my sense is, because of this maverick show you have now, where you've redefined sports talk radio across the world, you're now a maverick, right? So it's now beneath you. That's why you're not doing it. Is that right?
No, I mean, no, I'd still really like to do it. I just decided it was probably nice to stay home with my kids for Christmas. So I'm choosing dad this year as opposed to Spengler Cup play-by-play man. But I got to go back to this robe thing. I had no idea. Did you guys know
and
this?
they wear the white curls, right?
You don't actually do that.
You don't have to wear the wig, but I wear the wig.
Yeah, you do.
You're lying.
Yeah, you do.
You're lying to me right now.
I don't wear the wig. No, I don't. No one wears the wig.
But you do wear a robe.
But
so this is not like Suits at all. I thought it was all like Suits, and you just wear fancy ties and stuff. And wow,
look, I love Meghan Markle. I think she is one of the best looking people on the planet. This is why, while she seems to be quite difficult in a relationship with her husband and difficult in many relationships with many people, they all seem to implode unless it's Serena Williams, because they see each other twice a year. I give her a pass because she's so good looking.
She's a very attractive woman. She was in
very handsome.
She was in Horrible Bosses as a Pure Later delivery person.
Really?
Yeah. I realized.
What was she delivering? What was she? Was she delivering good looks?
No, she was delivering something to Jason Sudeikis, and he made a funny joke. And then that was it.
She's really good looking. I love her. Well, why did she come up? I forget. Why did I raise
because
her?
we were talking about the robes, and you just sort of randomly brought her up.
Oh, because the show Suits.
I said Suits.
Well,
yeah,
I love her.
Yeah.
I have watched all of 12 minutes of Suits. And all of it has been like stuff I've seen when they're doing a report on her on Access Hollywood. So I've never really seen the show because it seems, but I'm sure it's very good. But she's very good looking, and I'm so proud of her for being that good looking. But she's going to ruin everything. She already has. Please, they're headed for divorce. It's impossible.
So do you have like 4 or 5 different robes you rotate through, or do you just wear the same greasy robe every day?
It depends, because sex sells. So sometimes if I have a bad case, I'll wear a tightrope.
Nothing underneath. Nothing
I have to say,
underneath.
I know you love the idea of the robe, and so do I. It is, some would say, antiquated. I just think it's like some people don't take off the robe when they come back to the office.
Really?
And like, you can take off the robe now.
Do you ever? Is there ever a special?
Walk around.
Like on Fridays,
I was just in court. I'm like, well, that's your job.
On Fridays, can all the judges wear what are those things called? Togas?
A sarong.
Toga party?
A sarong, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. That would be something you could mix in.
Like, what's the toga? Is that like the from the waist down? It's
that's like
made
the
of
sheet. You wear a sheet or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the toga. No, but how about the one like in Hawaii where they have like, it looks like it's made of, I don't know, like foliage or made of something.
Hula dress.
Yes, the hula dress.
Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Hula dress Friday. Criminal court. That's great. Hey, you're guilty. You'll be executed. We don't have execution. I know, but Eric's your lawyer. That's why you're being executed. And it's Hula Friday, so let's dance.
Look at the way this guy moves his hips.
Look at those hips.
Who cares if you're being executed?
Your hips don't lie, but I love the idea of bringing my own gavel. I love that because It's like I'll get up and go objection, and then I'll hit the gavel and go sustained.
Sustained.
Who's to say?
Yeah, but you also go like this. You go, objection. You hit the gavel, and then you go like this. Sustained. So like he doesn't know you're doing the sustained part. That was
I just changed chairs. I go to the left. Sustained. And Macramalla, you look great today. Great hair day. How
love your robe.
How is your hair so
robe.
great?
Yeah.
Why aren't you losing it like the rest of us? I don't know.
Okay, we got to get to Juan Soto. Gets $750 million to go to the Mets. It's the story here. The money for Soto is the story here that the Mets beat the Yankees. Is the story here that the Mets have enough money they can just do whatever they want. How do you break this thing down?
Well, I think the story, what the story is, depends on your vantage point and where you're coming from, right? If you're a Blue Jays fan, the story is what I've said all along, that free agent star players in their prime don't come to Canada. That's Toronto because it's MLB, the NBA, and just those two, and then the NHL as well. No one will come to Canada from a U.S. team. So that's just a reminder that Toronto Blue Jays will never sign in our lifetime a star player in their prime coming to Canada. That's the first thing. The second thing is that Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, is like someone out of Saudi Arabia. We often talked about the Lift Tour being an example of sports washing. That is, you try and use sports to clean up your reputation. And I remember driving to Montreal to host a show, the afternoon show from 10 to 12 2 years ago. And this is when the story broke. I'm like, that's not sports washing, guys. I deal with these people. It's not sports washing. Saudi Arabians throw money at something that they want until they get it. They have public executions. They don't care what you think. Steve Cohen is not Saudi Arabian in that way, but he shares one characteristic. When Steve Cohen wants something, he throws money at it until he gets it. And that's what he did. And remember I said to you last week, what did I say? You asked me where he was going to go?
Yeah.
So he's going back to the Yankees unless Steve Cohen overpays and he's going to the Mets. And that's what happened. Fair? Fair.
How does like we said it right?
Objection. Sustained. Sustained, Macramalla. Have you been working out?
How does
goes in the comment every time?
How does Soto possibly live up to $51 million a year for 15 years? Like, how does he meet expectations? I just don't know how it's possible. He's not, as somebody said, he's got to learn to pitch just to become Ohtani. Like, how do you live up to this?
Who said that? Shohei?
It was it was Ipe. It was Ipe, his translator, who's got all of his baseball cards right now. Yeah,
he actually Ipe applied to be Soto's translator, and he's like, I already speak English. Yes, but I can help. Now, can I have your login information to your bank account?
Yeah, Ipe had $300,000 on him staying with the Yankees, and he's in a whole lot of trouble right now.
Objection! Overruled. Macramalla, your calves look splendid. Thank you so much.
But how does Soto live up to it? Like, it seems impossible. Well, is it not impossible?
It's almost like what you're saying is, how does he live up to $50 million a year between the ages of 37 and 41? Is that what you're asking me?
That's impossible.
What it is. Well, it's not. Look, the contract from one standpoint is remarkable. Another standpoint, it's kind of gross and disgusting. Agreed? It's just so much money. But it's all about, for any Major League Baseball team in a large market, how much revenue do you generate? What do you have left over before you pay or after you pay salaries, not including operating expenses? The Mets have $250 to $300 million left over, so they can afford this. But Steve Cohen doesn't care. But he will bring a return. He will sell jerseys. He will sell season tickets and suites, and they can charge more for everything. So, and then as far as on the field, his OBP is through the roof. His on-base percentage. I watched him hit live in Houston start off the year. I took my kids down for a 3-game set against the Yankees, and I'm watching him. I called him the professor. I've never seen someone treat at-bats as seriously and as cerebrally, as Juan Soto. So I don't think he'll have any issues producing. And he's won what? Like, he's been in 2 World Series. He's won 1. He does change the complexion of your team. It's just, I guess you could argue, slightly above fair market value, but you are getting someone in return. The issue is for other teams, what's the opportunity cost? Because you can't then sign a Corbin Burns or a Max Fried or a Teoscar Hernandez. But Steve B. Cohen doesn't care. He's worth $21 billion. So the issue for Soto is going to be that the contract is so enormous. I don't think it serves as a precedent, to be honest with you. I don't think it resets the marketplace.
Because it's just it's so large. It's just like
it's so large. And remember, A-Rod's contract in real dollars today was $252 million back when he signed with the Rangers, and his agent was Scott Boras. That didn't reset the market because in real dollars, it was pretty much close to what Soto signed for, right? So it took a long time. Well, it took almost 20 years for someone to catch up. So I don't think it sets the market, but I think what it does for a guy like Vladdy Jr. is the notion, the idea of testing free agency becomes all the more appealing. Unless the Blue Jays overpay this season on a contract, my money is he tests free agency, and like his dad, he leaves. And if Vladdy leaves, then the Blue Jays are in a full rebuild because their minor league system stinks and they don't have any bats. And this whole experiment of gloves over bats didn't work. And what did they do yesterday?
They tried to do it again yesterday.
Look, and I'm not a Jays fan. I'm still an Expos fan. That made no sense to me. He's won 3 Gold Gloves. His on base last year, his on base was .298.
Yeah, it's got worse.
That's
3
worse
years
than
in
the
a
batting
row.
average for a lot of really good players, right?
Yeah,
so they have to add that. You got Santander's got 44 home runs. Teoscar looks good, but there are not a lot of quality bats available to begin with. So if this is it for the Blue Jays, they have once again screwed up.
As always, buddy, great breakdown. And send me a picture of you in your robe, all right? I still don't believe it.
Objection, you're unsustained. Macramalla, looking pretty good with the trim, the bearded trim. I love it. You look fantastic. I love you guys. I love you guys more than my robe.
Well, we'll talk to you next week. There you go. Macramalla. I did not know. I did not know that judges in Canada or lawyers in Canada had to wear the robe.
Loosely tied as well.
I feel awful that, I mean, I do not have a lot of experience in court, but I covered court a little bit in Lethbridge and in High Prairie that one time the bad guy blew me a kiss. Remember that?
Okay.
It happened, Trev. True story. It was weird.
That's scary.
I was covering court in High Prairie and I went in and I sat in. And the guy came out and he sat in the box, and I was like the only person sitting in court for the radio station I was working for at the time. And he looked at me and he goes, and I went like this. I went, put on my cheek. I think he was more creeped out than I. But I was lonely up there.
He was like, I was not expecting
lonely
that.
in High Prairie for a few months.
It's like, I take that back.
Yeah,
give me my kiss back.
It was, but I don't remember the judges wearing. Maybe this is higher end court that Macramalla's talking about.
A court of Queen's Bench.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, well, why didn't he say?
I don't know.
Why didn't he say the Queen's Bench?
The white hair though, you've seen that though in like high profile cases. Hey, like the wigs that they wear.
Those are
fun.
all my lawyer
those.
knowledge comes from Suits.
Those are great.
That's it.
But that's an American. As somebody pointed out, that's the American justice.
Well, they look
system.
pretty cool
We're
down
in the
there.
UK. Yeah, I know.
Anyway, you can. I like that gavel text. That's a pretty good gavel text.
I think we got the most traction out of that
I
one.
don't even know who sent that in. Somebody, if you send in the gavel text, let me know. I got a bunch. I didn't label that one. I don't know who they came in. We'll track that down. All right. We need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. If you would like to play, we've got a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's up for grabs. So let us know. Text Trevor right now, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 if you'd like to play kind of easy trivia today. And you can win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's for the holiday season where they got the Fiesta Fusion rolling right now. We've got jam-packed third hour as well. It's been a busy show. 3 questions too many coming up. We do need one more question for 3 questions too many, so send that in on YouTube or in the on the Paris Jewelers inbox. That's a good. We're going to spin the wheel for draft order selection for tomorrow's Christmas entertainment draft. Greg Wyshynski just after 8:30. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. The Marmot Basin So Report, and of course the wrap for William Huff. Hour number 3 is going to be fun. The Edmonton Oilers get the job done last night. We got some goal songs locked and loaded here just after 8 o'clock today as well. But let's get to an update right now with Claiborne Services. They are hiring. They are always hiring. They got tons of work. They need you. Rick's got more on that after the update.
Leon Draisaitl with his 20th of the season. Stuart Skinner, 21 saves. The Oilers hold off the Lightning 2-1, winning their 4th straight at home. Oilers on the road in Minnesota. The jacket is coming off. Oilers visiting the Wild tomorrow night. Wild last night getting past Utah in a shootout. It was the Blues topping the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Dylan Holloway with the winner. Thatcher Demko 21 saves in his season debut for Vancouver. Nashville have lost 8 straight following a 4-3 loss to the Flames. Kings defeat the Islanders 3-1. LA won 6 in a row. Kraken fall in a shootout to the Panthers 2-1, to the Jets smoking the Bruins by a score of 8-1. Olds getting past Canmore 3-2 in the lone AJHL game. One game will dot tonight's schedule as Bonnyville visit Devon. And in the NBA Cup quarterfinals getting underway last night. It was the Thunder over the Mavs 118-104, and the Bucks advancing with a 114-109 victory over the Magic. Quarterfinals action resumes tonight. Atlanta visit the Knicks, while the Warriors are in Houston to battle the Rockets. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind and knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, check out www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy. Call Jeff, 780-910-6728.
McDavid.
Let me say yeah.
Remember that name.
Let me say yeah.
Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. McDavid. Remember that name. Here is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. Smart move. Here is beautiful. Remember that name.
Connor has no limit. Connor has no limit.
Connor McDavid. Remember that name.
No limits when it comes to this guy. He's simply too fast. Think he can just fly. No limits, so why do you try? He'll score on his own, or he'll give it to dry.
Let me say yeah.
Connor McDavid.
Fans in heaven, cause of 9 to 7. Been itching in love from Gibbons to Devon. Looking to pass, deep men on the ass. Second contract, a lot of cash. Tick, 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 tack, take your time. McDavid on your team and you'll be fine. Just open your eyes and you will see it. Oil it for real, cause he has no limit.
No. Connor has no limit. No. Connor has no limit.
Remember that name.
Try. Try. Leon scored a goal tonight. Watching him play is quite a sight. You know this song is tight. Oilers fans, come on. You loved him endlessly since he was drafted number 3. He's a center with a size that was born in Cologne. Try to stop him, you can't do much more. That ain't no lie. You just wanna see him shoot and score. It was try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try.
Let's keep going. They're very exciting. I do want to get to this. I'm going to take the heat on this. So I'm going to break a rule on this. Amos Moses texted in today and said...
it's also a quarter of King's bench now, not Queen's bench.
Had no idea.
Big uke.
Had no idea. Conch request, please. This came in at 6:28 this morning, and I missed it.
Oh.
Inbox is pumping after the Oilers win. Can we get a conch for our son, Bo, who turns 10 today? Please. He's a great kid who we love very much.
Yeah.
And he was probably listening earlier, so I feel bad that I missed it. But hopefully they can go back on the show. I can't miss a kid's birthday.
And it was text. You're right. The receipts are here.
Sent
it
in at
was sent
6:28.
in, so that's you. Big shoulders.
This is on
Dusty.
me.
That's really good of you.
I'm a loser.
Well,
I'm a failure. But I have a guy who's going to be turning 10 in like 4 months in the house. I know it's important. Amos Moses, son Bo, happy birthday, buddy. It's not very often we sneak in after 7 o'clock conch, but
you only turn double
digits.
digits once, right?
That's
like
a big one.
You don't get to that peak again.
What was the age that you remember turning furthest back? Do you remember when you turned 10?
Well, I told you, I remember being born. Remember,
you do remember
I have
being
that
born.
disease or whatever.
So you think it's weird?
Corey the Butcher has the same thing.
Yeah, but you think
we
think it's weird that I can't burp, but you can remember being born?
I don't think it's weird. I'm just saying the release of gas. It's,
I haven't burped since.
I know you can't burp on command.
I can't burp at all.
I didn't know how to burp on command until I was like 14.
Yeah.
And then once I learned it, it's like whistling with your fingers, right? Like you can,
I can't do that
I think
either.
we can all do it. You just don't know how.
Yeah, I guess I could learn it. But no, I don't even know how to burp. It'll never happen. But remembering being born, what's that called? What's that? Is that because I have a thing, right? That's what it said for
a thing.
People have a muscle that doesn't relax properly, and that's why I can't burp.
That's fine.
So I want to know what your thing is. It's got to be a cool scientific name.
Where is it here?
Oh,
confabulation.
Confabulation. Okay.
There's some sort of hokey dokey name for it.
All right. Well, there you go. Confabulation. Text us your weird things to the Paris Jewelers inbox. Huge selection of in-stock gifts right now that start at less than $60. Hello. How great is that? ParisJewelers.com, and a portion from their holiday collection will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada, which is also very cool. All right, the Nielson show.
Hyperthymesia.
So did the doctor slap you? Do you remember? Did the doctor slap you?
Did they slap
I
newborn babies?
Slap this baby to wake it up?
No, I wasn't asleep.
No, you were awake?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The Nielsen Show is brought to you by Southport Chevrolet, where Daniel runs the show out there. Does not remember being born.
It's not a big percentile.
Yeah. Drive a little, save a lot. Corey the Butcher remembers being born.
He DM'd me the day I said it, and I was very brave. I felt everybody was like, "Oh, what an idiot!" And then Corey slid into my DMs. He's like, "Listen, I got the same thing. And this is what it's like when doves cry. You know, you kind of. I'm sure there's somebody else out there. You're not alone, and you're missing the piece of your burping mechanism. I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
there's got to be another nasty
yeah.
out there. The stats would suggest, right? Like
it's like when Trev was afraid the world was going to end in the year 2000. There was a lot of people just like you too, Trev.
Yeah.
Yes, I was also took a chance on that one, and I was kind of afraid.
None of us are very unique, in the end. There's always somebody like you.
Yeah.
All right, the Nielsen Show is brought to you by Southport Chevrolet. They've got the Upgrade Your Sleigh campaign running right now in the month of December. You can reserve the 2025 Equinox Traxxas Traverse right now. They've got a bunch of them coming in, but they won't last long. So reserve those today. Check it out, www.southportchev.com. And they're going to have pictures with Santa on December 18th out there in a great charity event that they got going on for a toy drive, and Santa photos as well. So I shared that from our Edmonton Sports Talk Facebook account last night. So if you're on Facebook, you would have seen that. Rod from the Grove says, guys, my weird thing is at times I wake up and I can't move. It's like someone's holding me down. Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, I had that too.
That happens to me too.
Yeah.
That happens to me, and I panic.
Do you scream out? My wife has saved me multiple times. I try to scream out,
but the best I can do is I think Tammy hears me go.
Yeah. It's very frustrating, hey? Yeah.
I swear to God, it hasn't happened in a while, but there was a stretch there. It was happening all the time, and you wake up and you think you're up and you can't move your body, and you can't. I get in full blown panic.
Yeah.
And then I try to scream, and you just go. And then Tam will like push me up. She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I was awake, but I couldn't move my body."
And she's got to wake. Yeah, it's not good to wake sleepwalkers, but it's good to get you out of this
sleep paralysis, man.
You die.
That is scary. Well, that's what I always think.
It's terrible stuff.
I'm like, is this the end?
Well, this is where we meet in the middle. This is our shared.
Hey, hands up if you've had sleep paralysis. That's 2 of us right there. Trev, was your hand up? You never had sleep paralysis?
No, like I have a hard time
sleepwalking. Do you ever sleepwalk in the past?
Once in my life, and it was terrifying. I swear, I was like haunted for a night. It was.
Who found you? Like
I woke up in a hotel. Like we stayed at the hotel, and I was in the hallway.
Oh, you found yourself type of thing, like you kind of.
Yeah, like I woke up and it was in the middle of it was like 3 a.m. I had no idea where I was, and I had to go to the front desk.
One day when I was a little kid, my parents changed my bedroom around, and I got up to go to the bathroom, but I just took the same steps that I would take before my bed was moved into a different place, and I pissed on the furnace in the hallway.
Yeah.
My dad was like, he heard something. Their parents were sleeping. He turned on the hallway light. I was taking a leak on the furnace. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Taking a pee. Leave me alone." He's like, "You're pissing on the furnace."
Real mad.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have moved my bedroom around.
Yeah. I woke up once, stood at the foot of my parents' bed. I told my mom, well, I didn't wake up, I was sleepwalking. I said, "Come with me." I led her down to the kitchen, grabbed a spoon and a fork, laid them out on the counter, and said, "I have to take these to Question City." Then I calmly turned around and went back to my bed. Like, have you ever woken up to your kids? That's got to be one of the most scariest if you have kids, waking up to them standing in your bed.
The Muzz is always lurking around.
Like that's
She gonna kill us for sure,
right?
Yeah,
the silhouette of them standing there, and you're, what the hell are you doing?
I had a dream last night, and the dream I can't remember what it was, but the dream ended with me being at like a Walmart, and I was asking somebody. I said, "Excuse me, do you know where the alarm clerks are?" And then my alarm clock went off, and I was like, "Whoa,
man,
that is so cool!" All right, sorry, who's playing kind of easy trivia today? This guy's been waiting.
Keep talking about it.
We got a very patient Logan on the line.
All right, so I apologize to Logan, but this gift certificate's going to be worth it because Fiesta Fusion is on right now at Mr. Mike's. Celebrate the flavors of their new Mexican and Spanish-inspired features like the Patatas Bravas, the Fusion Feast Platter, Chili Lime Ribeye, feature drinks, plus $1 from every entree sold will help nourish a hungry child through the breakfast program in the community. Join Fiesta Fusion at your local Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually. All right, let's go to Logan. Logan, thank you very much for waiting. Have you ever had sleep paralysis? We wait that. Did he hang up?
He's in sleep paralysis right now. He's trying to answer, but he can't.
He's trying. Question number 1. Blah, 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 blah. Somebody wake Logan up immediately. Somebody. Okay, let's go to Logan. Logan, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I certainly have, actually. The first time I had it was in high school social class. I fell asleep and then couldn't wake up and
in class?
And booted my desk over. Yeah.
I love it. No, that's funny. That's a good story.
Took the rest of the day off.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, no doubt. All right, Trev will start the ticker after read the first question. Good luck, man. You need 3 to win this gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Here we go. Did the Edmonton Oilers win last night?
Yes.
Which goalie got the win for the Oilers?
Stu Skinner.
What country is Kucherov from?
Russia.
Will Russia play in the Four Nations face-off?
They will not.
Which organization has more cups, the Oilers or the Lightning?
Oilers.
Boom. 5 for 5.
And Sergio Ramos gets a nipple erection.
Worth the wait.
Oh, is that dirty?
This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions.
Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Clubby Loop on a Wednesday, and what a Wednesday show. We're having a lot of fun here today. It's been, I think, hopefully you've been entertained today.
Hump day.
Yeah, we're heading towards.
It gets a little funny on Hump Day, doesn't it? Yeah. Business side of the week is done.
Well, and then tomorrow we get a draft.
Ooh,
plus an Oilers game.
We still have a wheel to spin here, too.
We got a wheel to spin. We're going to do that after we get to 3 questions too many, which we'll get to right now. 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, you have a liner for the segment.
3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where his entire life is one giant night terror. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
That's a good one. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric, where last night I did tweet out a portion of the movie Home Alone 2.
I saw that. I know what portion it was, too.
Do you?
As soon as I saw it, I was just like, this is the talk boy.
It was
here.
zoomed in. I also taped the Christmas concert part where the lady falls off the piano off the stage and Buzz is doing the thing. That's pretty good, too. But it wouldn't take. At Lieutenant_Eric and Edmonton Sports Talk as well at YEG Sports Talk.
Yeah, give us a follow over there too. That would be great.
And you mentioned the Facebook page as well earlier.
Yeah.
Go see that. We are on Facebook, Edmonton Sports Talk. You can DM us whenever you want, and we'll get to them as best we do.
Plumber Topher says, good morning, boys. Off topic, but I just got back from LA Disneyland trip with my wife. We attended the Clippers Nuggets game, and it was amazing. Triple doubles by Jokic and Harden. The Intuit Dome is fantastic venue. My wife even had a great time at the game. That's awesome. That's good news for Chris, who won our trip, our EST flyway to Los Angeles. Going to go get to check out that Intuit Dome.
It's all about the Intuit, man. Get into it.
All right, question number 1. Do you guys think there is any way that the Oilers like Nurse and Kulak together so much that they don't acquire a defenseman at all prior to the deadline?
I think there might be a dimension out of all the dimensions. There might be one that exists. I don't know if it would be wise that you just leave it like that and don't acquire something on the back end.
It's like Doctor Strange in Endgame or whatever it was when, what's his name, Tony Stark was like, have you looked at all the futures? He's like, I've seen all of them. He's like, how many do we win in? And he goes like this. He goes, 1.
That might be the one.
That's the one universe that you would have to exist in.
But is it that the one you're living through? So it lessens the load and quiets down the immediate talk right now. And again, before Nurse got rocked by Reeves, I mean that pairing, it was a small sample size, but people were, signing off on that. So long may it continue for Oilers fans and the club. And it does make things a lot easier, perhaps moving forward, that maybe you don't have to go out and acquire such a bigger piece, and it makes it easier for you to acquire a. But I think an addition still on the back end would be wise.
You got to do something, I think.
Yeah.
Trev, where do you come out on this?
Wise is a very good word. Like, it's interesting when the change when a team starts playing good, all these questions, they become answered, right? Like 2-3 weeks ago, we were talking.
They don't need a goaltender anymore.
They need, like what's the guy? And I asked this to Hernan yesterday, the exact same question. But I mean, outside of the big three, Matthias Ekholm, Bouchard, and Darnell Nurse, any one of those guys get injured, like you're kind of screwed,
good point.
right?
So fair enough.
I think it would be wise to get
still got to get somebody.
Option.
I think what all this has done is it's given you much more time to decide on who you're going to go after, what the price is going to be, but it's still got to be an addition.
Yeah,
more so than up front, I think. Question number 2. This came up on the post-game show last night. What do you guys think of playing Kapanen on the top line instead of Nuge?
Give it a try.
You'd have to. So he was there with Nuge.
Yeah.
And then Hyman's there. They're both righties. One of them would have to play the other side.
What was the reasoning? What were people?
Well, I think people just like Kapanen's game last night again.
They like the punch. Like, sure, give it a shot. If you want to reward him for that, go ahead.
Play Nuge with Draisaitl and Podkolzin.
Sure.
Throw Podkolzin on the right side. Play Nuge on the left.
If you don't like it, you can always move back. Keep Skinner in the bottom 6. I think that.
I mean, I like Kapanen. I don't know if I'm playing one of him or Hyman on the left side to get an upgrade on Nuge. I guess I have a little bit of time for it, but I'm trying to think it's my Finnish Kapanen bias here. Maybe that might be coming in here. Trev, what do you think about it?
I don't like it.
No.
I always feel like they're always trying to mess with Leon's lines. Like he finally gets some wingers and they're like, okay, let's see what those wingers can do on McDavid's line.
Yeah, just leave them there.
It's like when McDavid has a really good line, no one's ever, let's bring those guys to Leon's line. And so I don't like the fact like that he finally has a line where like he's playing with some players where they really look like they have some chemistry. So why mess that up? The first line is going to continue to be good. I know Nuge and Draisaitl have had success before, but Nuge and McDavid have also had success. So I don't like the change. I like Kapanen.
I just leave Kapanen with Draisaitl.
Yeah. He was looking so good. Like
he brings more speed to the Draisaitl line than Nuge would. Yeah. I think that's more required.
Lots of speed. He's a smart player. You got Vasily. I like that second line a lot. I wouldn't touch it at all.
Matt at the Garrison says, good morning, guys. I'm rocking my new EST socks today. Oh, did you come in and pick up your package yesterday, buddy? Maddie's emailing out everybody. Don't just come rushing in. He's got a whole system on the packages.
Okay.
Yeah,
of course.
He's got his whole system on the packages. We're 40 away from changing 300. So let's smash that if you're watching on YouTube. We're going to blow through 300. So if you're watching right now, give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything.
And hit the damn sub button.
Yeah, sub to the channel too. We'd love that. Question number 3. Do you guys think you'll ever be able to find a way to convert Reed Wilkins into a hardcore fantasy guy?
Well, what's on the line, I guess. Like you're in these leagues. What do you win? There's a monetary prize sometimes. Pride. I don't think he cares about that too much. Like it's not just he doesn't really care about having one up on somebody. I don't think he's not that type of guy.
I know Reed.
What is he like?
I know he says he doesn't care about other people's fantasy things, but I think I do see like a little twinkle in his eye when I talk about Spite League and some of the stories behind the leagues that I'm in. I think what would be the key. Spite. I think what would be the key is getting him into a CFL fantasy league.
That's just the right amount of crazy that I think he would subscribe to.
He's
but
been
I think
a fan
also
of that team for a long time.
If you get him into a league and automatically screw him over, I think he likes the idea of the spite. Yeah. I think he likes the spite.
Yeah.
Much more than the fantasy.
That might be the way to get him in.
And a good prize.
Reed seems to really like me. Reed likes me a lot.
Okay.
All right.
And we play 21 every single day, and and I also play with Dusty.
Yeah.
And
I beat you yesterday.
And Hernan. Yes, you did. But we have a really good time. We have a good chat all the time, and it brings out the competitor in him, is what I've noticed. He's a competitor. He likes to win. So I think, pretty soon here I'm going to start, fantasy, just start mentioning
You're going to be the...
Yes.
Two-man league.
I think
just
I could
you
do
and
it.
him in a fantasy league.
And just, hey, Trev, what's this fantasy all about? Well, Reed, sit down. Or actually, we can play a game of 21. I'll discuss it. I think that would be a good time, and I think I could help him out with that. But yes, I think we could do it.
Penner's Pancake says, let's leave Reed as the Def Leppard 80s movie and cartoons guy. That's his bread and butter. And Big Slam Nasty says, daily reminder that Reed Wilkins is the man. Yes, he is.
He is.
If you've not yet checked out the Reed Wilkins show every single day from 3 to 6 here, we are very lucky to have Reed on board, giving you excellent
PM
sports
Nasty
talk and entertainment every single afternoon that you will not find anywhere else. It's as simple as that. And that's not me. That's just the truth.
You find out he's a big NBA fantasy guy. Like he's in 40 leagues. You don't even
catch
know
him
about
looking at it one day.
Yeah.
What's that? Nothing. I swear to God, I wasn't looking at my NBA fantasy
all
team.
NBA fantasy.
I've got the Great Barrier Thief going tonight. Need 3 steals. All right. Speaking of Reed, he is going to join us in the draft tomorrow as a proxy for Glue Guy, Jay Milne. We've got Christmas entertainment draft going down tomorrow. We've been looking for categories. We had a bunch. This is kind of what we threw out in the chat yesterday. But we've had some good suggestions come in today.
Yep.
And
Tommy didn't get relegated from the Halloween draft, and it was a tie in the results for the winning. Just to recap.
So 2 or 3 movies for entertainment, Christmas movies. You're going to do that planes, trains, automobile thing again, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not giving away
watching
anything.
it over the holidays.
It's a holiday movie. It's a holiday movie. 2
or 3 songs, 2 dishes that you would have to put out if you're hosting.
These are locked in though right now, right?
Well, no.
Okay.
I mean, we got to discuss. We see what else comes in, and then we'll lock these in. Talk to the commish. 2 beverages, 2 activities. Maybe we go 1 indoor activity, 1 outdoor activity. 1 game. The commission has suggested a must-have tradition. That could be a category as well. Had some great ones pop up on Twitter last night. Let me see if I can slide over there and grab a few of the replies there. Had some good ones come in via text message today as well. But we are going to spin a wheel to determine who gets to pick where they pick in that order. We're going to do that right away. And that's going to be for the Italian Center. That's so good. We've got a draft coming down the pipe tomorrow from 9 to 11.
Drunk family member comes in from Rob from the Grove.
Well, that could be tied into what Jess suggested. Worst case scenario category.
Yeah.
You get a Jelly of the Month club. That type, the worst thing that could happen for you. I think that would be pretty good.
Favorite college football bowl.
That could be entertainment. Yeah, that does make sense. Zachary over on Twitter was suggesting a type of gift exchange, right? Because you can do Secret Santa, or you can do you draw names and everybody knows who they're getting for that type of thing. You could definitely do that. Keep these rolling in.
I think we should all have to draft a college football bowl.
You think so?
The names are hilarious. We talk about them every year. Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Cheez-It Orange Bowl, which makes no sense. The Bad Boys Gasparilla Lawnmowers Bowl. Like, they're all funny named. All you got to do is go on the schedule, pick one or whatever.
Well, what we could do
and just fill
is
one
you
out.
have to draft a sport. We can do both because there's NFL on Christmas Day.
No, I know.
There's World Juniors.
Yeah.
There's NBA now.
But I think you could have its own category with just a bowl game. Pick a bowl game.
Yeah. No,
do you want to go traditional with the Rose Bowl and stuff like that, or do you want to kind of go funny? What would... And I mean, they wouldn't. You don't even need to know anything about them. The matchups.
So you
or
could
anything.
go
Just the
sporting
name.
event as one category, bowl game as another.
I think a bowl game.
I think that's
there's
nice.
more than enough to pick from. You just pick a funny one or a traditional one.
Yeah, I think that's.
We've never had that in a Christmas or holiday draft before.
That's pretty good. All right, Trev, let's get Italian Center up there. Let's get this wheel ready to go because we're going to do this. Then Greg Wyshynski's going to join us as well.
Big Slam Nasty, time of the day for first drink.
Oh, wow.
That would be an interesting one because that's more of an...
Yeah,
there's no real right or wrong there
That's
either.
like a family feud question. Top four answers on the board.
Yeah.
What's the best time of the day to have your first drink during the holidays?
Or a Price is Right as we keep trying to go
Time
closer
of
to
day for first drink. And that could swing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Who's that? Big Slam Nasty? Nice work, buddy.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one. All right, so this could be a fun draft. And it'll be a festive thing tomorrow that we'll be doing. That's a good. Trev, you getting the wheel set up?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So when we spin this wheel, who gets spun first will have first pick of either seat or where they want to draft.
Yeah.
Tommy Gazzola won this last time, took the 4-5 swing, finished dead last.
And again, just for a second, thinking about this draft, it's going to be multiple weird categories. It's a Christmas in general. So I don't know if there's a consensus number one right now that really pops off the page for you.
No, I don't think there is.
Right? So
that time for first drink could be a real game changer here. If you can find a wheelhouse that everybody really likes.
Okay.
Like you're looking at 11 a.m. or 3 p.m.
You can't, Colleen Balmer says, as soon as you wake up. I think we need to have a numerical time.
Yeah, you got to have a time on the clock.
It can't be kind of...
time on the clock. You got to have time on the clock.
You ain't wrong, Kyle, but...
All right, let's do this for the Italian Center. Where, I mean, what would be great tomorrow? A platter for the draftees.
Hey? If you are heavy on the artichoke
what do we
hearts.
do? Do paninos or do we go meat and cheese and some artichoke hearts?
Artichoke hearts, I think. Maybe just a tray of pickled herring.
We have to remember Commissioner's pick will be involved here too.
Yes, and she's very excited about this one. From what I'm hearing.
I wonder what she's got up her sleeve this time. Right? So that'll be myself, Eric, Tommy, Reed Wilkins making his Edmonton Sports Talk draft debut as a proxy for Glue Guy. Some people are already wondering, is Reed Wilkins just going to get new guy bump? Which would kind of be hilarious because Jay's never won. No, Jay tied for the win with you last time.
Tied.
He's never won one outright. Imagine if Jay steps in or Reed steps in as a proxy.
The PM Nasty.
Holy smokes. All right, let's spin this wheel. This will be for the first choice of where they pick.
First choice.
Spin that wheel.
Here we go. It is spinning. And it lands.
Tommy again?
Respin.
I can't see. I don't know where the thing is.
It's Tommy.
Tommy again. Are you kidding me?
Tommy.
All right, Tommy Gazzola.
The wheel is just.
You think he goes back? The wheel is a joke. That's what I say about that.
I hope he chooses a seat with the first overall.
You think he'll take 4-5 swing again?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Spin that wheel.
Okay. Oh.
Reed?
There it is. Reed
Wilkins. Man, we got 3-4 last time, too. Where are you guys
Home
seeing?
field
It's over on the
advantage,
right
not so
there.
much.
Okay, I see. All
That's
right.
unfortunate.
Okay, let's spin it between Eric and I. This will be third choice.
Here you go, guys.
All right, spin that
wheel.
It's on LT.
Stop.
And it's on Dusty.
Damn it.
All right, I'll pick third. Eric is sitting fourth. Well, you can easily
Of what
go
we
seat.
wanna pick.
You
Yeah.
can go seat for sure. and
you
then
can,
take
yeah.
whatever picks left, right?
Absolutely.
I love the seat pick.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting. If you too are doing a hilarious draft around the office or with your family, pick up a tray for the holidays from the Italian Center. Meats and cheeses and vegetables and get panino tray. I mean, they're all delicious at the Italian Center shop. Let's see here. 780-218-9999. We got Greg Wyshynski coming up after this update. Dave Schmidt says, hey, Dusty, what day are you starting to do the World Junior A Challenge game? We're just doing the games on Sunday. So I'm coming into Camrose Saturday night after I coach a couple kids in hockey. And then, the games are like 1 and 5, I think. So I won't even have to miss the show on Monday. I'll be back straight from Camrose again.
With Craig Button's gift in hand.
Yeah, well, that tournament started yesterday. And Sweden basically brought their U18 team. And the U.S. has a bunch of good players from the USHL. The 2 Canada teams took it on the chin here so far. So probably going to get a U.S.-Sweden final, which is, one of the top 5 picks in this year's draft. Is that that'd be a great game. Like Sweden-U.S. would be a great game. I know it doesn't involve Canada East or Canada West, but Bud and I will have the call on TSN for that on Sunday from Camrose. All right, Greg Wyshynski's coming up. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power, the Marmot Basin Snow Report, and of course the wrap for William Huff, all still to come. Let's get to an update right now for Sit and Sleep in South Edmonton Common.
Oilers win their 4th straight on home ice, 2-1 over the Lightning. They are on the road tomorrow night in Minnesota. Other action from last night saw the Blues top the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Nashville have lost 8 in a row following a 4-3 loss to the Flames. Kings, they've won 6 straight, 3-1 over the Islanders. Kraken fall in the shootout to the Panthers 2-1. Wild defeating Utah in a shootout, and the Jets all over the Bruins 8-1. Olds get by Canmore in the lone AJHL game last night 3-2. Bonnyville are in Devon tonight to battle the Extreme. Thunder and Bucks both advancing to the NBA Cup semifinals last night. Quarterfinals action will wrap up tonight when the Knicks host the Hawks while the Warriors visit the Rockets. Black Friday savings are on now at Sit and Sleep. Today until Sunday, all Canadian-made custom sofas, sectionals, and bedrooms are all on sale. Save up to 50% off select floor samples, 20% off home accents, and more. Plus, make no payment until 2026 interest-free. Also, make any purchase over $9.99 this week and receive free local white glove delivery with full setup and installation. Don't miss the massive Black Friday furniture mattress sale event on now at Sit and Sleep, South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
On the Nielson Show, brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and the team. Family-friendly team out at South Fort Chevrolet. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox. Check them out, parisjewelers.com. They've got gifts for the holidays starting at less than $60 at all of their Paris Jewelers locations. 21 away from changing 300 today, so hammer that thumbs up for us. And we will, I guess we definitely have to get to this one with Greg Wyshynski, who's going to be joining us from ESPN. And this makes a good point. Eden says, hey guys, can you ask Wyshynski when Juan Soto Day is going to be? And is it on the same day as Bobby Bonilla Day? So let's bring in Greg Wyshynski today. Wyshynski, congratulations on Juan Soto to your Mets. How glorious was that day?
It was quite glorious. But again, as your listener points out, being a Mets fan, it's new to have an owner that can outbid the Yankees. That's new. That's exciting. But it is the Mets. And so your first thought is, is this going to be the Bobby Bonilla contract within like 4 years? Will he break his fibula on the first day of spring training? Like, what is the thing that will befall Juan Soto? But for now, it's awesome. Like, I can't. Listen, I don't have a nickel to my name compared to Steve Cohen. I don't know how you pay that much money for one player and then, have enough money for, pitching. But he's going to figure it out. And he landed the guy that the thing about the Mets is that everybody thought before last season this was the plan. And then Grimace showed up. and everything changed. But now it was the plan, and so it's exciting.
Greg Wyshynski with us on the show this morning. Best of luck with Juan Soto. We were very happy that the Canadian club, the Blue Jays, got to be used as a prop yet again for the second offseason in a row, and then they go and trade for a declining bat when they actually need proper bats. So
great glove.
Yeah, great glove. That's awesome. Yeah, the Jays can continue to lose.
Listen, as in baseball, as in hockey, just go to Toronto to get your price jacked up, and then go where you actually want to go after that.
It works out no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
The Edmonton Oilers got the Tampa Bay Lightning last night. We were discussing it was a well played hockey game, 2-1. Both goaltenders are really good. People today are like, Dusty, because I was watching. I don't get to see Vasilevsky enough.
Yeah,
but when you watch that guy play net, man, it is poetry. And I know the Oilers got a couple by him last night, but he stopped Draisaitl on 2 breakaways. He stopped McDavid on a breakaway. McDavid beat him on a breakaway as well. But I can't see a goaltender moving around the net better than that guy moves around his crease. It's just, I wish I had all 82 Lightning games and I had time to watch them from start to finish, because I love watching that guy play the position.
First of all, you forgot the parenthetical, which is at his size. Like he's
6'4", right? Like
he's a big dude, and to be able to be that limber and that agile at his size. I mean, we've seen no disrespect to someone like Ben Bishop, right? But like Ben Bishop is not moving around like Dominic Hasek, like Vasilevsky can. The other thing about him too is that when you see a goaltender that's that agile and that can move around the crease that well, to be able to do it without getting your occasional Jonathan Quick moment of, oh, whoops, I'm at the sideboards now, kind of thing going on. Like to not do that and to be so in control of your motions, I think is one of the reasons why he's elite. And, it's good to see him back and playing well too. I mean, he kind of went into the wilderness for about 2 seasons after their back-to-back cups, probably from exhaustion. But again, like as Vasilevsky goes, so goes the Lightning. And that's one of the reasons they've been so good in the Atlantic this year.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of wondering, as I watched that game last night. They move on from Stamkos, but they bring in Gensel. They've still got, an aging Hedman, but he's still a stud. And then you've still got Kucherov and Point, and Hagel's having a great season. Sorelli's really good. Like, is that Tampa team, I'm not going to say they're reloaded, but still in a contender window, would you say?
Oh, without question. I mean, they don't make that Ryan McDonough move if they don't think that they've got at least a window to win, right? Like they still think that they've got an opportunity to add another cup to the resume. I don't think that their supporting cast is quite up to snuff. I mean, you think back to when they were winning cups and it was, Yanni Gourde, Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow is the spine of that lower part of the lineup, and I don't think they have anything comparable to that. But they're just, I mean, the most impressive thing about them is you let Steven Stamkos walk to Nashville, his offense dries up, you bring in Jake Gensel, and now you're a better offensive team than you were with Steven Stamkos. Like up and down the lineup, they're just scoring at such a high rate. Not so much last night, but I think last check they might have been top 3 or top 5 in the league in goals per game. It's been really impressive to see.
13 hours ago, Greg, an X was issued, formerly Twitter. The Canucks are playing the Blues tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. By that time, Wyshynski will have put on his Devils onesie, sipped some warm milk, kissed his bedside picture of Makar, and gone night-night. You quote tweeted that, but I know I actually watched it. So I just want to get your thoughts on Demko coming back for the Canucks last night, albeit in a losing cause, and Special Agent Dylan Holloway getting the overtime winner here for the Blues. But your thoughts on Demko's return to the crease of the Canucks?
I'm happy he's back, but let's talk about the Canucks for a second. First of all, me in a Devils onesie, I think my body shape would resemble that of Danny DeVito's penguin when he would waddle around in his onesie in Batman Returns. Secondly, you forgot the best part of that X and or tweet, which was that I screen capped the final score of the game to let the Canucks fan know that I had watched it, 4-3 in overtime for the Blues. The third thing is, why are Canucks fans so psychotic? Like, why are they so psychotic about NHL awards? Like, we put out the awards watch yesterday, I think it was. Cale Makar had 75% of the votes from the voters that we surveyed. I don't think it's right. Like, I think Quinn Hughes has been the better defenseman this season, and I think Makar has been helped greatly by the way that Nathan MacKinnon has played. But like, Canucks fans are treating it like Quinn Hughes has finished 100th for the Norris every year of his career. He won the award last year. How can you play the East Coast bias? They don't pay attention to the team in British Columbia nonsense when he won the Norris Trophy last year. Last year, in this calendar year, he won the Norris Trophy. You maniacs.
Man, you don't have to tell us about Canucks fans. Like in the playoffs last year, our YouTube chats were just
come have a sit, Greg.
Just infested. It was unbelievable, man.
No one watches the Canucks. Here's a Jack Adams for Rick Tocchet. But it's not fair because you guys just watched him when he was on TNT. That's how you know he exists. What's wrong with people?
Greg Wyshynski with us on the show this morning. Hey, just on that Vancouver-St. Louis game, we were talking this morning with how the playoff pitch, I know it's a long way out, but the teams that you expected to be pretty good in the West are pretty good in the West, with maybe the exception of Nashville, depending on your expectations for them. Yeah. Calgary started really well. They might hang around in there. What about St. Louis with the coaching change? We saw them here in Edmonton over the weekend. Like, is St. Louis a team that you think could ruin it for the 8 that are in there right now?
Yeah, I think so because, one, they're an okay hockey team. 2, Jim Montgomery's system is what Vancouver saw a lot of last night, which is I'm just going to pack everything I have in front of Bennington and Hoffer and hope for the best. And if they can squeeze out enough offense along the way, then they're going to make the playoffs. And I think they will. I mean, I think he's got them pointed in the right direction. I think they do have enough offensive pop in that lineup to squeak in as a wild card. I don't think they go much farther beyond that, but they certainly could do that. I disagree with you on Calgary. Like, I think they're in a spiral right now, and we might be starting to see what they really are after what was a really impressive start, buoyed by what I think is probably a top 3 Calder performance by Dustin Wolf. You can say either him or Lane Hudson. Yeah. And I'm fine with that, with the acknowledgement that Mitchkov and Celebrini are the other 2. But, the Blues are one to worry about for sure. And again, like the thing about the Predators, I have to imagine that they keep on keeping on because they remember last season. They remember the winning streak they had. Brunette was the coach. In theory, they're even better than they were last year. Like, there must be something in the back of their minds that are like, if we can put together 3, we could put together 6, we could put together 10 and get back into this thing, because otherwise, it's completely a lost season.
Kaprizov, the front runner for the Hart Trophy right now. Who are his biggest challenges, do you think, at this point of the season?
Well, Eichel got a few votes from the Vegas Golden Knights. I think there's people that see the amount of points that he's put up vis-a-vis his teammates this year. And also, I think there's some lingering, hey, we should give this guy his flowers for becoming a 200-foot player type love for Eichel as well. I think that he's got a decent case. You look around, I mean, Connor's on his way up. Obviously, like, it's undeniable the points that he's putting up right now, and bringing the Oilers along with him. That's going to be obviously something to watch. Kaprizov though is I think handily leading the field right now, and rightfully so. You look at the impact that he's had when he's scored, the game-winning goals, the points in the third period, things like that. I mean, his case is really strong, and as long as the Minnesota Wild continue to be ascendant in the Western Conference, I think that his case only gets stronger. Plus, he's a guy I think people kind of root for and kind of say, hey, he's been under the surface for a while as far as being a real bona fide superstar in this league, despite incredible numbers. And the Wild being good allows people to feel good about finally acknowledging that.
The Oilers are going to get the Bruins over their next 4 games. It's 4 games away, but we saw the Bruins last night take one on the chin in a couple of different ways from the Winnipeg Jets. It's been it hasn't been Rangers type of year for the Bruins, but obviously hasn't gone exactly how they wanted. How do you think they overcome getting crushed the way they did last night?
They kept Swayman in for all 8. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild?
We paid you, man. This is your net.
Like, I know that's got to be it. I mean, Jonas Korpisalo has to get his Z's, I guess, or something, man, because Swayman was in for all 8. I don't know. Like, it's funny. Until last night, I had so many conversations with people around the league asking me, have the Bruins turned the corner? like they had been playing better. Swayman had been playing better. He finally got over his I missed training camp funk.
Yeah.
Joe Sacco had seemed to get their attention in ways that Montgomery couldn't. I mean, Montgomery tried every trick in the book, yelling at Marchand on the bench and benching Pasternak, taking McAvoy off the power play, and nobody cared. And so the thought was, same system, Sacco, different voice, maybe he gets something out of him, and he had been until last night. So I still think they're going to be all right. There are still things about this team that are inexplicably not Bruins quality, like their penalty kill and like their goaltending in some stretches. But you look at the Atlantic and the fact that once again the three amigos, Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo, all seem to want to punt on a playoff spot for like the sixth straight year. Yeah. There's definitely a lane for the Bruins to get in again.
I am 100% refusing next offseason to talk about which one of Buffalo, Detroit, or Ottawa will take a step. It's been 4 straight bloody years talking about that in the summer, and I'm just done with it.
But Dusty, that's the beauty of it. You could ignore all 3 of those teams and hop on the Montreal train next year.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we'll have to do. Greg, before I let you go, we are doing a Christmas entertainment draft here at Edmonton Sports Talk tomorrow. If you were taking one movie first overall in that draft, what's the must-watch Christmas movie in the Wyshynski household?
Oh, my God. It changes every year, and then there are obviously some that are just like ones that you just pop on regardless, like Die Hard I'm watching in January or December, so I don't even know if you can count that as a full-fledged Christmas movie. It's probably A Christmas Story.
A classic.
I mean, like, for the sense of memorization, for the sense of it being so ubiquitous that it was the first Christmas movie that was marathoned here in the States, 24 hours of A Christmas Story around Christmas. Dated, yeah, but universal themes. Like, for example, your parents not trying to buy you a gun. It still resonates today, doesn't it? I would probably say that, but I understand there's a myriad of different choices. Let me shout out one that probably won't get drafted, but it's one of my favorite movies, and it is a Christmas movie. You familiar with Just Friends, the movie where Ryan Reynolds played a formerly fat guy?
I am familiar with it. I haven't watched it in a long time, though.
So if you haven't watched it, it is pretty insane. Anna Faris gives one of the best comedic performances I've ever seen, where she plays kind of like a Britney Spears-esque pop singer and just goes for it. It's if you like Ryan Reynolds and you like the chuckles and it is Christmas and has some great lines, Just Friends for those who are looking for something that is very, very funny and Christmassy and contains at least 6 jokes about living in New Jersey.
Stephen Root in there, hey?
Stephen Root's in there. The dude who played the lacrosse dude in American Pie. Oh, Chris Klein.
Chris Klein.
In there.
Yeah.
Amy Smart, for those of a certain age, is the
I loved Amy Smart back in the day. Butterfly effect. Yeah.
And for the olds, the mom in the movie, Ryan Reynolds' mom, Julie Haggerty from Airplane. So a lot of comedy legacy in this movie.
Oh, I'm gonna have to maybe throw that on the rotation with Tam this year.
Maybe you drafted.
Well, maybe it'll be drafted.
Here,
Who knows? All right, Greg, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot. We'll chat next week.
Anytime.
There you go. That is Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. I mean, Christmas Story. I think Tommy should take it first overall.
I agree. Tug on the heartstrings, That's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the silly season begins now, hey?
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah.
It's on now. I can't wait to see where this thing goes. We're 2 away from changing 300, so let's do that right now. Changing 300. We'll do that. We got tons to get to. Let's get to the weekly rankings of power.
Sure.
Then we've got the Marmot Basin snow report. Assuming the snow report has come in. Brian loves sending us morning emails. And then we will get to the wrap for William Huff. But right now, let's get to Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. Power. What do you got, buddy?
Why, we've done a lot of Christmas seasons together. I feel like I probably ranked these before. I was trying to get really down, dirty, very specific.
Okay.
Christmas this, Christmas that. I think I did worst Christmas foods one year.
You did?
And that was I'm going now worst Christmas sweets.
Okay. I got time for this.
Changing 100.
Now, and I didn't want to give away anything for the draft, right? So maybe we do draft the worst. We're drafting the best of the best, but maybe you draft the worst. Maybe there's a category for worst.
There could be a category for, Jess suggested worst case scenario.
Sure. So
that's drunk uncle style. Yeah. And then, Okay, well, let's do it. Number 10.
Candy canes.
Wow, candy cane out here catching strays.
It's low on the list because some people, look, it's not everybody loves them. Some people hate them. And there's the thing is with them too, and why they're low on the list, you can get different flavors. Technology has made it so. I mean, we have the gravy ones the other year, right? Wasn't there like a gravy?
There's a bunch of things you can do with
candy. So
candy
it's not
canes.
just straight up peppermint anymore. So some of them are good. I mean, you can get Dr. Pepper, like, pop flavored type of thing, but candy canes, people hate them.
Number 9,
ribbon candy.
What's that?
That's those little piece of candy. Piece of candy.
The little
the
things?
ribbon, and they're stuck together. You try to pick one out of the dish, and they're all stuck
Horrible
together.
idea.
I grant them a type of candy, but
horrible idea.
Sucking candy.
All right, number 8.
Those popcorn balls with the jubes in them.
Ugh.
And they're caramel, all stuck together there.
Getting
and
too carried away.
The popcorn's old. Like, it's very stale, unsalted. I don't like jube. I don't like that pairing.
Ugh.
Jubes and popcorn and then caramel to hold them all together.
This is a real nice list.
Not having it. Not having it.
Number 7.
Anything butterscotch.
Yeah, I'm not a huge butterscotch guy myself.
Some people are. And maybe, and again, not in the top 5. A little low on the list.
Number 6.
Anything peppermint.
Anything peppermint.
Anything peppermint. And I think when the Christmas season comes about, any manufacturer of candy, chocolate, or whatever finds it an excuse to, hey, let's get the peppermint recipe out again. They blow all the dust off it. And peppermint M&M's, peppermint this, peppermint that. You get it in your toothpaste, 365. We don't need more peppermint in our lives.
Number 5.
The Lifesaver storybooks.
Whoa!
It's too many Lifesavers. And sometimes you get the butterscotch variety in there as well. Well, it's fine.
I grew up on those. I guess it's not a big thing now.
I did too.
Yeah.
I God bless my parents and Santa Claus as well. But
you are right on the flavors, though. They're getting too carried away with the flavors.
Too carried away and too much.
Yeah.
Nobody needs that many Lifesavers.
Number 4.
Peeps.
What is this?
Peeps. It could be more so an Easter treat. But those little marshmallowy little birds in Christmas season, they'll come in a different form. It'll be like a mini Santa or something, or a mini snowman, or it's just marshmallow. It's gross marshmallow candy. You're not a cotton candy guy. This would kind of fall into the family. Peeps, number 4.
All right, number 3.
Pot of gold's filled with cherry filling. Get it out of here.
Cherry filling.
We don't
pot
need
of
any
gold.
fruit around the pot of gold. It should be caramel. It should be what do you call it? The truffle filling. Leave it at that.
Don't have to get
have
away.
a solid chocolate if you want for the middle piece with the logo on it or whatever. But I hate that pot of golds. You bite into it, you're expecting something, and it's a cherry. I don't want to. If I want to jam, I'd eat jam.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
It is unnecessary. It's very misleading.
Number 2.
All sorts assorted licorice candy.
I knew all sorts is going to be on here somewhere.
But there are sickos out there that don't mind them, and I understand it. And I'll say this: there are 2 assorted candies in that box. It's the pink and the blue ones with the small little dots covered in them. Like they're not bad. If I'm picking around, if you give me the assorted box, I'll find those. I'll take them.
So you can
out.
find something in there that you like.
Everybody can probably find something in the all sorts of assorted licorice candy, but as a whole, you see it. It's on. It's like Creed.
What are you talking about?
Why? I just think it's more of a meme. It's funny. People see it and they're like, oh. But I think you can find. I mean, I don't mind a few Creed songs. I can pick around the catalog.
You be careful. This is My Sacrifice. It's the only song on here. It's a single.
The single.
My Sacrifice album version and the radio edit.
The radio edit?
Right here. Yeah, this is just My Sacrifice. It also has
what did they edit out?
It has the lyrics too. The song goes, "Hello, my friend, we meet again.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Where should we begin?"
But is that the radio edit or the album?
Feels like forever.
I want to see what's edited out.
I need a Discman for the holidays so I can listen to this.
You do. This just has one.
That's it.
So it's what's the edit here? Time? It's got to be time.
It's time.
Radio edit.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
Give me a break.
All right, what's number 1 on the list?
The number 1 in the...
Give me back my single CD.
Worst Christmas. Look at the hand on it, too. It's like an old man's hand.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's so
it's
sad.
wrinkly and it's looking back at times because of his sacrifice.
Sad. Yeah, it's sad. The number 1 of the worst Christmas sweets, the chocolate orange. It's a no-brainer.
Whoa.
Everybody hates that thing. It's terrible. You
have to hammer it.
Yeah, again, weird pairing. I don't get the orange flavor. And they can also pop up in the pot of golds. There's sometimes that orange, I think, pot of gold or whatever. But
the orange chocolate flavor is being forced upon us and nobody's asking for it.
I don't mind if you want a Christmas orange, mandarin orange, whatever you want. Like one of those, the Japanese, you worked in the grocery store. We've all grocery store guys. Unloading those pallets was kind of rough because there'd be the moldy ones and you have to go through them and find them. But if you want to try a Christmas orange,
My wife loves Christmas orange.
And that's, so be it. They're a nice little treat for the season. But the chocolate orange, no, I don't. You don't want to see those in your stocking or under the tree.
Pender's Pancake says, with the exception of Lifesavers, this was a perfect list, 9 out of 10.
I don't mind a lifesaver. I just don't need a whole damn book of them.
Well, there's like only
too many lifesavers.
What's there, 10 packs in there?
10 packs.
Well, the Lifesavers will last
saving
until February, you know?
Yeah, I know. It'll be all gross. And
all right, that's Lieutenant Eric's Weekly Rankings of Power. Let's get into the snow report for Marmot Basin.
So stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
Stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
And about a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
Snow report. Also, Tommy Gazzola is taking the 4-5 swing.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Tommy Gazzola is taking the 4-5 swing Christmas entertainment draft.
Reed, you're on the clock.
Another mild day on the slopes with temperature of -5 at 7:30. Forecast high of -3. Skies are mainly clear. The wind is light. Settled snowpack 55 centimeters with a total of 113 centimeters so far this season. 15 runs were groomed last night. Man, these run groomers are working hard up at Marmot. 6 of the 7 lifts are operating. Gift certificates available. Great for the holidays. Gift certificates are available online at skimarmot.com. Snow report from Marmot Basin. Hit the slopes. Hit the slopes. Hit the slopes. Hit the slopes. All right, there you go. Let's get into the wrap for William Huff. Brought to you by Bruce and the team over at William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done. WilliamHuff.com. They've been doing it since 1952, so you know they're better at it than you. What did we learn on the show today, buddy?
Scotty Barnes will be out for multiple weeks with that sprained ankle.
Barnes.
He's the injury bug's biting him, and it's biting him hard this year.
That's a tough one.
Raptors dropped down to number 27 in the NBA power rankings, just on the power rankings theme.
I learned today that both you and I have had sleep paralysis in the past, where you're like awake. We're like brothers. You can't move your arms. You're just like.
When I was living in Boy's house with Coleman, I guess he told me I was like shrieking in the middle. I was screaming.
I always think if I shake enough, I can fall into the bed and it'll wake me up.
But it feels like something's sitting on your chest, eh? Like that type
it's the worst.
Yeah.
You can't move. I guess that's why it's sleep paralysis. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today. That'll be Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas. We got day number 5 today, which is always exciting. Here we go, Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas.
On the first day of Christmas, EST gave to me local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the second day of Christmas, EST gave to me 2 TVs for reading local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the third day of Christmas, EST gave to me 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for reading local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the fourth day of Christmas, EST gave to me 4 nations, 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for reading local programming 6 to 6 daily. On the fifth day of Christmas, EST gave to me $5 Mama Burgers on Oilers game days, 4 nations, 3 artichoke hearts, 2 TVs for reading local programming 6 to 6 daily. We're going to have to double up a few days, though, I think.
Yeah, because we're down the pipe. Yeah, I'm out in the 19. You're out in the 20. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll have.
We should end it, though, when you and I are
6 o'clock or Christmas party, December 18th.
Yeah.
6 o'clock or Christmas party, December 18th. Because I'm off on the 19th.
Lock it in.
You're off on the 20th.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You get a little dose of Will Fraser for the holidays. He came by yesterday just to hang out.
A real
walked
sweet
4
treat.
kilometers to get here. Hung out for an hour, then walked 4 kilometers back to his car.
That ass.
Said he had to get his steps in. He's at like a 5,000 kilometers this year or something. What a freak. All right, text of the day today. It's going to go to Burglar. And it's going to be this one, a Macramalla intro today. You're going to win a gift certificate to A&W, where it's finally back. Limited time only, though. The buddy, the mama, and the uncle. Mushroom mozzarella burger. Timeless classic. Fully loaded with mouth-watering mozzarella, cremini mushrooms, grilled onions, and grainy Dijon aioli. What are you waiting for? The mushroomy, mozzarella-y goodness at your nearest A&W, starting at just $4.99. Text of the day today. EST legal analyst and guy who brings his own gavel to court, because if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And that led to some good bits with Macramalla.
It got the length.
That's another thing I learned today. Macramalla wears a robe in court.
Loosely done up.
Very cool. All right. What are we watching tonight?
NBA Cup quarterfinals, obviously.
Exactly.
What do you... You got to ask the question here. We'll have the Hawks, the high-flying Hawks, visiting the Knicks, and as well as the Houston Rockets at home to the Golden State Warriors.
That's on the radar tonight.
See, he'll join OKC and Milwaukee back in another, their first NBA Cup semifinal. Of course, they were in the semifinals of the in-season tournament last year.
Hey, who's on the hangout? Oh, yeah, they're coming in today, aren't they? And they're going to be in at 10? 10. Okay, so on the hangout today, Belzy will be in with Tommy and Maddie. Trey Ford, Gavin Cobb, live in studio in the hangout today at 10 o'clock. So be ready for that. That's going to be awesome. Those guys were great last time they were in. And now Trey Ford's a big money man. So that's exciting. They'll be in on the hangout from 10 to 11. Belzy, Tommy, and Maddie coming up here right away just after 9 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Christmas draft tomorrow. Scalding hot takes tomorrow. Oilers and Wild tomorrow. It's going to be really fun. I'll be back with the Lock Shop today at 11. For YouTube, Trev and Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you very much for being here. Happy holidays. Take it easy.